Recording in progress. The pressure's on. Oh no, I have stage fright. Haha, jokes. Let's move on with just kidding. Sorry, you have to bear with me. I need to make everything perfectly adjusted or else everything's ruined. In my mind anyway. Okay, so last we left off in our wonderful, wonderful Spelljammer game, we were doing stuff, doing lots of good stuff. You guys aboard your ship were making your way to hunt your Scrow bounty, way off near the system of Glyph. And you got there. You found a Scorpion ship, one of the more classic ships that were used during during the Second Unhuman War. All of you be quite familiar with, and you attacked. Your ship converged inward. You guys got a little lesson on how Spelljammer combat works, about sort of bumping through space ranges, about the artillery, and you guys got a little you got a little practice on how this thing is used and how it works. You guys came up. You guys joined the boarding party. You jumped aboard the ship. You lost one of your companions, one of your elven companions, unfortunately aboard the crew was crushed by one of the claws of the Scorpion ship. But quite fittingly, as all of you jumped into the hull to attack the Scrow, Varsh used that technology to crush the Spelljammer. And then once all surrender had been secured, Varsh, having received a strange vision earlier in the voyage, knew that he wasn't going to get away, or thought he wasn't going to get away, at least, without entertaining the entity that had contacted him, and proceeded to behead the Spelljammer. And that is exactly where we leave off today. So you all stand here. The Spelljammer's body is sort of crippled into the actual helm, sort of bent over, sort of in the helm, and you see this bearded Scrow head roll across the hull as Varsh stands sword bloodied. What do you all do?
So the Spelljammer helm itself is the prize of the ship. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
One
that's
of them.
So should we take it to the captain? Like, is it a thing that we would pick up and move? Then Bisan is going to go to the remnants of the Spelljammer and remove his helm.
All right. Using the mechanics, the claw, the Scorpion is the vice is removed, and it's gonna take some fiddling to sort of pry it out, like from the body of the Scrow and the dented metal of the ship. But so far, the actual helm isn't busted. It's still functioning. Magic still thrums through it, and you're able to start pulling it away. You hear as you see uh, Commandant Dionysos lumber down into the actual hull. And he looks around and goes, "Good work, I say. Has anyone checked the cargo hold?
no, not yet, but I'm happy to do it now.
All right, be careful. Who knows what could be hiding down there? And a prisoner, I see. Well done."
Chaplain, you want backup?
I'll follow Chaplain. I want to put distance between me and Varsh.
Fair enough. Chaplain and Yersinia make their way into the cargo hold, while Varsh and Bisan will stay with the Commandant. You guys head into the cargo hold, and you see that they do have some stock down here. They do have a couple of crates, but no Scrow, as far as you can tell.
Right. Is there anything I would recognize as being useful? And that includes, like, with my knowledge, especially of this kind of ship, are there any other, salvageable parts or whatever that I might find useful to take back on board our ship?
I will
Well,
also
maybe an
start looking
investigation
around their
check for the
stock.
cargo hold to find useful cargo.
Yeah, nat 20.
Nat 20. Yeah, you thoroughly look through, other than, the usual sort of ration and water supplies, which are useful on your ship, as the Skrull have the same dietary needs as any other humanoid. You also find that there is a rather large stock of steel ingots. They seem to have, whether that's stolen or probably stolen, they're pirates after all, as they do have different boxes with different labels. You find that there are a couple of boxes of steel ingots. You also find there's a couple of boxes of what look to be grain.
Brain, you said?
Grain, that's right.
Okay. Um, all right. So I guess I'll start hauling that up out of the cargo hold into at least into the middle deck.
Fair enough. Yersinia, did you have something to add?
No. My roll was not a crit. It was just 23. But
Okay.
just also down there with Chaplain. Are there weapons down here
No, not down here. It seems that any weapons that may be
on them?
possessed, yeah, was on their persons, yeah.
Gotcha.
Which
I have
were
a,
shitty scimitars. Well, cutlass, but yeah.
Can I ask for a little clarification from the last session? We'd originally identified two ships in the Ori, right? But we only, at the time that we boarded this ship, we only had one ship visible.
Correct. Yeah. So you guys grab that stuff. You start doing your best to haul it. And you would see, you're seeing, it's very clear to see that, like, on top of like the nat 20 and everything, Chaplain, your DC was a little lower than your seniors. You see that Chaplain seems to know the ins and outs of this design of ship. So yeah, you kind of look around. But meanwhile, back on the normal deck with the Commandant and Bisan and Varsh, what are you guys up to? You guys are extracting the Spelljammer helm?
As I am getting the Spelljammer helm, I would like to casually ask Dionysus. Commandant, things are different here than in the military.
That they are.
I want to do things right.
Mm.
Let's say, hypothetically, because I want to know if it happens, that someone should surrender.
Yes. If someone should surrender, well, I guess it's up to us to decide what is to be done.
But who
Usually,
should make that call? Is that any individual can decide that they should live or not live? Do we have the means to carry prisoners on the ship?
I haven't really asked the captain, but yes, we do have a brig. Prisoners are always useful for, I've never done it before, not usually from a military, usually military, but prisoners of war can make for good ransom.
And these would be considered prisoners of war, say, had this man and she kind of like juggles the corpse, decided to surrender instead.
Yeah, so we're not at war, so technically not prisoner of war, but a prisoner, and we have uses for prisoners. So yes, let's haul these prisoners into the brig. Lower cargo hold is where you'll find the brig.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would like to search the dead Spelljammer's body.
Okay.
And as soon as Dionysus leaves, Bisan looks at Varsh and says, "Don't do that again."
I can't make a promise I can't keep. I'm sorry.
If you do it in front of me, the Commandant will make the decisions beyond there.
Anyway, you go searching through the body. I would ask you, Varsh, are there any material components you require?
Or
Spells.
Currently, no.
Currently, no. I'll do a little roll, see the value of initiative. Okay. He has a rod, metal rod at his side. He has a bag of a couple of couple of silver, nothing more than that. So I would say about I'd say 12 silver. Well, I'll go for it. Let me go for it. Okay, 4 silver. Not apparently the dice aren't as generous as I am. And lastly, I'll say there's like a 50 gold piece diamond on him. That's what he has on his person.
I will take those. The metal rod, the silver and diamond.
Okay, fantastic. You may add those to your inventory. Bisan, you're hauling the prisoners? Or moving them to the ship anyway?
Yes. Once I have secured the helm itself to present to the captain,
all right. Between
then
you
whatever
and the
prisoners we have, I'll get them to the brig.
Got it. So you and the commandant begin to fiddle with it. Make me an athletics or sleight of hand check. You will have advantage because the commandant will help.
That will be athletics.
Okay.
For a nat 20, which is I think like a 24 or 25. Let me see. I've got 26 actually.
So while you're like, commandant, is it usual for a prisoner of war to be like executed on the spot? And you just like fully just pull it out of like what's left of the body of the Spelljammer and the twisted metal. And he's like, while he was answering, he was just like sort of looking impressed at just like, not necessarily the raw strength, but the application of it. And you are able to sort of finesse it out, very much like moving a couch around a tight corner. Very impressive. And yeah, you begin hauling that back, and the commandant sort of puts them in line, these prisoners of war. And yeah, you begin to make all of that transfer happen. So Bisan, as you get back to the ship, you see the oar and the captain sort of communicating. You will be helped by the rest of the crew, who will, some seem to be stationed on lookout. Others are like, they'll take it from you and go, oh, well done. And then they'll take it from you and they'll start hurling it into the cargo deck. You see the captain is sort of like talking with the oar, sort of in deep something's going on. They're talking on the top deck. Do you want to continue to help with the cargo?
Are there prisoners that need to be taken to the brig? Are there?
Yep.
I feel like she would, once the Spelljammer itself the helm was secured, she would then go immediately to security issues. And isn't there another ship out there?
There's another ship out there. That's what the Auror told you.
Yeah, no, Bisan's not messing with cargo.
Got it.
We're keeping the area secure until we are no longer in a potential situation.
Got it. So everything's being hauled. Yesinia, Varsh, Chaplain, everybody's just hauling cargo. Maybe Bisan, you're doing it with a little bit more speed, knowing that there's potential danger out there, if that's what you said, and I'm not misinterpreting. And you begin to haul. And you got pretty much everything out of the cargo hold, and like, yeah, you guys are sorted out. You're told like, yeah, take all the cargo. We can sell this cargo. It's good cargo. It's probably taken as piracy, but the captain will even say, yes, these are pirate goods taken in the name of piracy, but we're taking from the pirates. So that's sort of a moral gray area. I think it's good profits for us. We'll take them. Put them in the cargo deck and we'll sell them. And then at a certain point, you all hear from one of the elves, who seems to be sort of stationed on lookout near the mangonel, says, "New ship has just entered!" And everybody sort of takes a look out. Anyone who wants to try and spot the new ship, make me a perception check.
I mean, I think it's good.
8.
16.
4.
8 and 16 will do. You see a wrap. Sorry, go ahead, Bisan.
I'd say it's a 7, but she would have gone to the ballista or the mangonel anyway.
Okay, you start making your way over there. You don't know what it is, but you're making your way over there. You guys see this really strange shape of a ship. It looks almost like a giant seashell of some kind, but it has tentacles coming out of the front of it.
Oh no.
And
No,
you
no, no, no,
hear
no.
Mind flares! And the captain sort of turns around and he goes, "Everybody aboard the ship now! We need to get out of this system." The Orus says, "Where are we going? How can..." And chaos begins to erupt. People start running around, not like chaos, but people organize chaos. People start running around the deck to try and man their stations. The captain says, "We need to leave the system right this moment." Or what are our options, Bisan?
Can I get a shot off?
You could certainly try, but it's at the maximum range. I'll actually have a initiative roll.
Yeah. You said Mind Flayer, right? I heard you right, yeah?
Mind Flayer.
Yeah,
Mind Flayer, yeah.
We
Oh, I know. I understand.
That was a dirty 20.
Okay.
Where I wanted to use that, but hey, we don't always get a choice. So I'm on the mangonel, which is I think the one that has the biggest distance. I don't know if we're gonna jump into warp speed or whatnot, but we're gonna be shooting from behind us.
I'll drop a Mind Flare for the application of turn order. All right. This will be slightly narrative, just to yeah, we're not gonna go like fully mechanical here. This might be like a slightly narrative scene here, as this is sort of like we're running. Okay. I need to get my Space Galleon and Nautiloid out here. All right, let me get the initiatives, please.
Oh, everybody?
This is just to see if you guys all get onto the ship in time.
Oh, this is to see if we get on the ship in time? Oh, okay.
Just to try it. Well, I mean, they don't want to leave without you, but they also don't want everyone to die.
Well, I rolled a
25 to 20. Who rolled a 25 to 20? Who rolled a 20 to 15?
15.
Hey, good job. Who rolled a 10 to 5 or a 15 to 10? 10 to 5?
Oh god.
Oh my god. 5 to 1 or 0 or less.
I rolled a nat 1, I suppose, with Chaplain.
I also rolled a nat 1, yeah.
I mean, Bisan had the dirty 20.
Oh, Bisan had the dirty 20. You're way up there. Yeah, you're first. Okay. Chaplain Yersinia, who wants to go last first?
I'll go last.
Okay.
Yeah, Yersinia's stuck in her head.
Got it. All right. So Bisan, when all of this emerges, you said you would already be running to where did you want to run to? The Mangonel, or did you want to run to the Ballista? Because everybody would have known, like you would have known that whatever this new ship is, it came up on the rear of the galleon, so the Mangonel would have had the cleanest shot.
Then that's where we're going. I would have probably gone to the Mangonel because if we're retreating, I want to be able to cover our retreat. Does that make sense?
I understand. Okay.
Like if they want to follow us, they're going to follow us into fire.
Absolutely. All right, I actually need to put on a little... Should I do like... Oh, the Shattered Void sounds cool. Okay. Bisan, you get there, the Mangonel's already loaded per, logic. Go ahead and if you want to make an attack, I will say this thing is at maximum range.
Disadvantage?
It tried to jump closer but failed, so it is at like It is within 1,000 feet of the ship, but is at long range. So I will need you to roll at disadvantage.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But it's just at the edge of your range. You might catch one of those little tentacles.
And this is a +6, I think.
This is a +5.
+5. Thank you. That might do it. It's a 12. With disadvantage, it's a 12 +5 would be a 17.
A 17 is really damn good.
It's a mind flayer shit, man. I don't know if it is.
17 will hit the Nautiloid. Go ahead and roll damage, which will be 5d10.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 7 and 9 is 16, and 10 is 26, and 5 and 5 is 36.
36 damage. A shot is fired. Direct hit to the side of the shell of the Nautiloid. You hear the as the rock hits the side of it. You see a portion of the side of the hull sort of crack. That was a direct hit. Well done. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Feel my inner greater favored enemy. Like, this is literally she was raised for this shit.
Yeah, these are the things you were raised to kill. At least raised to hate. Okay. Incredible. That's going to bring us to the galleon, which is just going to hold fast. You hear the captain say, "We're not leaving without everybody aboard this ship!" And he screams over to the Scorpion and says, "Everyone get aboard now! We need to go!" You hear the Spelljammer can't communicate with the captain, but the Aura will say, "Captain, if it gets close, it will capture us in the tentacles. We can't risk it. We need to leave at least before it reaches short range." And the captain says, "I'm not leaving without my crew." There's the space galleon. It says, "Spelljammer, hold ready." That's going to be Varsh Voidlights as the ship is going to just hold and prepare to advance later on. Varsh, where would you be when all of this is erupting?
I think after I looted the Spelljammer, I've probably been helping with cargo, so I'm not sure where I'd be exactly.
Tell you what, roll me a d20. The higher the number, the more likely you are to actually be aboard the ship.
Okay.
The space galleon, that is.
19.
You're on the ship. You're already there. Where are you going? What are you doing?
Trying to think, is there anything I can do to make this? How far away is this Nautiloid?
Minimum under 800 feet, but still pretty far.
Okay, very far. I mean, until others get here, there's not a lot I can do. So I guess I'll go to where the ballista is and just see if there's an unmanned one just to get in position.
You do recall that one of the elves was killed in the last battle, and this ship is at its minimum crew.
Yeah.
To man all arms and all everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could take her position and sort of keep a load on the gun if you want, or take the actual firing position, whatever you want.
I'll take the firing position.
All right.
You
do so. Unfortunately, the ballista isn't quite aimed in the direction of the Nautiloid, so but you can hold an action to fire it if you wish.
Yep, I'll do that.
Okay. That'll bring us to the Nautiloid itself. That is cocked. Let's see. All right, let's see if they advance correctly. You see the ship. Oh, sorry. Hang on. I'm gonna do this right. I want to make sure that, because that's pretty close. Oh my God. Work with me. There we go. What? There we go. I didn't know Mind Flare was 2 words. Okay. They would have a... Okay, you see the ship sort of vibrate as it's drawing closer, sort of inching closer towards the ship. It vibrates, and you recognize this as an attempted range jump, but it fails to do so. So you've got some time. It seems that the dice are on your side. Chaplain and Brasinho that are like, what? Mind Flare? Mind Flare? Where? Bubba Fett? Where? Swinging your guns around. Your Chaplain, where would you be on the ship right now, do you think?
That's good. I don't know exactly where. He would have been in the process of either transferring goods or if that's already been done. Either scouting the Scorpion ship for salvageable parts or headed back to the New Dawn because it had taken some damage in the last battle. So my next intention was to begin repairing that. So somewhere in that in that series of processes.
Got it. Well, why don't you roll me a d20? The higher you roll, the more likely you are to actually be aboard the New Dawn.
I rolled a 5.
A 5. You currently have like a barrel of ration or a barrel of water in your hands that you were hauling. So you've got a barrel of water in your hands, and you're currently in the cargo deck of the Scorpion, preparing to haul it back to the ship. What do you do?
All right. So I'm going to, I guess, it's a barrel of water. We said.
Yep.
All right. I guess I'm going to drop the barrel of water, and make my way as quickly as I can toward boarding the New Dawn, yelling for Yersinia. Mind flares! Oops! Mind flares! We gotta go!
Okay. You just drop the water barrel. You dash action. I'm gonna say from all the way in the bottom of the cargo deck, you make it to top deck of the Scorpion, but that's it at the end of your movement.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Yersinia, where would you be?
Yersinia has been gathering bodies, giving them small, funeral rites, and then burning them.
Got it. So you're definitely aboard the Scorpion.
Yes.
Tell you what, roll me any even-sided dice. Evens, you're on the mid deck. Odds, you're on the upper deck.
Mid deck.
What do you do? All of the bodies have been treated or tended to by your means.
Yeah, I think his chaplain runs through and it's like, we gotta go. Yersinia snaps out a bit out of their whole issue. And I think we'll follow along, start to kind of jog up deck.
Got it. Movement. So we'll say with a dash action, you can board the New Dawn. Is that good?
How big is Chaplain?
Chaplain is a small-sized, is like a gnome for all intents and purposes. Metal gnome. Yeah. So you see you kind of run to the top deck. You hear Chaplain downstairs, he's behind you. He's just behind you.
Mm.
You dash to the New Dawn?
I wanna wait for my buddy. Just to make sure. So I think I'm gonna hold just on the edge, but looking back towards the trapdoor.
I gotcha. So why don't we say you're on the top deck with Chaplain, and you can hold your action to dash.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And that will get you onto the ship too. Sounds good. Bisan. Crew loads it, moves it around.
She has been absolutely focused on making this next shot, but stone cold fucking assassin.
Got it. Stone cold killer. Taking the shot.
That was a nat 20.
Nat 20?
Yeah.
I guess she is stone cold right now, huh? Go ahead and make me 5d10 plus 50. Holy fuck.
That was nice. Okay. 1 plus 4 is 5. Plus 10 is 15. Plus 4 is 19. Plus 9 is 28.
Plus the...
Plus 50.
28 plus 50. 78 damage. Good God. So that would be... let's see here. That is... Okay. Another shot. You send it right at the last shot. You sort of twist and turn it. You want that shot where you just immediately hit. You crack a massive hole in the side of the hull, and you get the sense that you've probably done some significant internal damage, if not killed some of the crew members with that shot, as it just collapses the side of the shell of the ship. And yeah, well done.
Getting ready for my
you hear the captain go, fire it! Okay, great. As you're just like going, just firing, just laying into the ship. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Getting ready for my next shot.
Getting ready for your next shot. Fantastic. I almost imagine Bisan, like, whether it be yelling or sort of quietly demanding that the crew hurry up and load the next shot as they're sort of quickly like reloading the mangonel, readjusting its alignment. Hurry up. Okay, incredible. That'll bring us to the galleon. I will say Versinia and Chaplain are the last two people on the Scorpion. And they're... and the captain said, get aboard this ship now! We don't have much time! Looks over to the oar and says, Org, I said give me options, where are we going? She goes, I can suggest 2 places. There is, there's the... He says, now, and goes, sorry, there is on the planetary rings, there is a moon called Haven. It is a neutral grounds for Illithid to trade and make good. He says, next. And he goes, oh, okay. There's also a place called Mingabu, and it has trading, a number of inns and trading posts. And he goes, that one will do. Set a course. And they're going to continue to hold and wait for the rest of you to load. Varsh, what are you doing on your turn?
I suppose I will continue to hold on this ballista until, hopefully, the blind foes won't get into range. If they do, I'm ready.
Fair enough, sir. That'll bring us to the Mind Flayer's turn. We're going to see if they're able to jump the distance closer. They are not rolling very lucky today, folks. Not very lucky at all. I'm going to go double check to make sure this is unlucky. So I think it is. No, my mistake. Apparently they are a little more lucky than that. You see the ship vibrate and then jump into mid-range, drawing much closer, in which it is going to take some attacks on your ship now. Okay, Nautiloid. Let me go look at the structure of the ship, make sure. Okay. Oh my god, that's a lot of ballista. And they're all aimed right at you, my friends. Okay. They're going to aim for the ship. Luckily, they're only at mid-range, so the ballistas are... No, the ballistas will reach at disadvantage. Miss. Hit. Your ship is going to take... one ballista hits the ship directly but bounces off of it, not enough to hit the threshold. Next ballista misses. Oh, nope, just hits. Penetrates the damage threshold. That's going to be 24 damage to your ship on the hull. And the last ballista is going to fire and miss entirely. ballista shots firing across. The one that damages your ship, it's this almost strange bone and flesh-like ballista bolt that like hits the side of your ship and cracks the hull. The last is the mangonel, which will now be. Oh, hey, Nat 20. Did you roll at disadvantage? This one, because you're at long range.
No, I did not. I'm sorry. The other one did
That's
hit
okay.
though. I'm sorry.
No
So
worries.
take
Roll
the
me.
50 off. It still did 28.
Well, roll me another d20 and see if you do hit on the disadvantage.
Okay. 16 plus 5.
Okay, so just minus 50. No problem. So that would be. Got it. Okay. Now they're going to shoot the mangonel at you. Mangonel will hit. All right. Additional 25 damage to your hull. All right. That is the Mind Flayer ship. It is drawing closer. All right, Chaplain.
Yeah, let's get me to the New Dawn.
All right, you run aboard the ship with your movement. At which point, Yersinia, if you did want to use it as a held action, you run to the ship as well. Chaplain, what would you like to do with your action? And bonus action.
Yeah, I'm assuming I'm going to I guess I'm going to ask who is it? The Spelljammer, yeah. Like as I touch the ship and I'm able to be heard, I tap my feet twice and I say, Helmer repairs.
Great question. You'll say, why not both? Make your way over to the helm, but let's get us underway. So it will take you some distance to travel to the helm. So in the meantime, you can repair the helm.
Yep. I'll repair the. Yep.
Or do whatever you want to the helm. Like,
sure.
You got options.
Yeah. All right. I guess let me. I don't think I have an actual rule for repairing the. Hang on, let me check. I'm not sure that there's a role for repairing the. Hold it together.
You've got mending if you want
there's
to.
There's a DC 15. Someone use hold it together. You can use an action to hold one damaged object together by constantly patching and modifying it.
Got it. I believe that applies to items that have been destroyed. So
Yeah.
like, let's say the ballista has been like destroyed outright. You can use that to sort of like jimmy it all together for an extra shot.
Okay, that's fair.
So-
So I guess just the narrative version of, attempting to do repairs to the damage that's been done on the hull.
Got it. So that will take a minute unless you have the mending cantrip. If you have the mending cantrip,
I
you
do
can
have the
restore a
mending
little,
cantrip, yeah.
then you can restore a little health to the hull if you want to roll that.
Yep, I will do that.
I think you can only do that like once every half hour or something like that. But
Okay.
yeah.
It doesn't give me a roll though.
Mending cantrip is. Oh, sorry. That's a specific Spelljammer combat rules. I'll tell you what you got to do.
Okay.
Ship repairs. Okay, ship repairs. The mending cantrip. Damage ship or shipboard weapons. You can restore 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. So 1d8 plus your wisdom mod.
Oh, okay.
You can do it once per hour.
All right. So that's 1d8 plus 4. I'll roll that.
All right.
All right. So that's 7.
7. All right. You restore 7 hit points to your ship. Very good.
On my way to the helm.
On your way to the helm. Excellent. Okay, making your way to the helm, no problem. Yersinia, you are aboard the New Dawn. Per your dash held action, what would you like to do?
There is not a lot I can do here. I think I head down to like this little Spelljammer helm, and I think I'm just going to like be close to her in case she needs to like tap out. Um, but for now, that's kind of what I can do on the ship.
Got it. She's going to hold true. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, you make your way over to the Spelljammer helm. You are close at hand in case your skills are required. Very possible if the Spelljammer gets damaged for whatever reason. All right, that's all. Bisan. Do you want to take an attack roll?
Am I rolling at disadvantage?
At this range, yes, as it is only at mid-range. Short range, you get to roll a straight roll.
Okay. Oh, that's probably not going to hit. That's a 14.
A 14, unfortunately, does sail by the wood hull of the Nautiloid. Surprisingly made of wood.
She is going to holler, ballistas.
Okay, understood. We'll see if they're able to get in range. All right. Afterwards, the space galleon says, sort of, you hear the two stomp of the captain. It says, "Spelljammer, it's time to move." She is going to make a Spelljammer helm check to try and jump ranges, and she succeeds. Your ship vibrates and fires forth to long range away from the Nautiloid. The captain goes, "Good, good." And you would all know that you need one more range in order to successfully reach, what's it called? Cruise speed. There we are. One more range will put you out of range of the Nautiloid and into cruise speed. But your ship continues to just sort of do that inching forward a little bit. Varsh Voidlight, my friend, what would you like to do?
There is not a lot for me to do. I might actually go towards the aura just to kind of keep an eye on, like, I guess the worst thing that could happen is if like a second ship shows up, so I'd like to go down to the aura and just kind of see what's happening with Sunquo, I think they're called.
Absolutely. You head up to the, what's it called? Let's find out. You head up to the stern castle, which is where Bisan is mounted the mangonel, where the captain and the oarer are stationed. You head up in the oars, sort of got the orrery out. You see all of the different systems, and you see that you guys are going to be heading to a nearby, what looks to be a comet. Or let me see here. Oh, it's a moon. You see that she's sort of like, or she's actually making her way down. She says, "Mr. Voidlight, please come with me to the Spelljammer helm." And we'll start. You two could start making your way down there, but she will show you that you're headed to the second moon that orbits the planet that you are near to, Glyph.
Gotcha.
She'll actually hand you the orrery. It says, "Keep that handy, Mr. Voidlight."
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If there's anything else?
Yep, I will.
Oh, well, you can take your action to do a little orrery stuff if you want.
Sure.
On the Voidlight. All right, go for it, mate. I'll roll the Spelljammer.
I'm talking like a system scan, or I'm gonna, or can I scan the, I guess the mind flayer ship?
Whatever you please.
Screw it. Information is power. Just check what I need to roll here. Okay. Arcana. Which I'm terrible at. 13 to scan the mind flayer ship.
13 to scan the mind flare ship. Against the Spelljammer rolls a nat 20, and you hit a brick wall of psionic force as you try and scan their ship. But you do note one thing. you sort of feel the presence of another aura. You get the sense that they have been scanning you while this has been going on.
Okay.
Okay. That brings us to the multiplier. This person's just very unlucky, it seems. Their Spelljammer has not been performing optimally today. They try and jump forward towards you guys, but fail to do so. Now that you're in the cockpit, or you're near the helm, Yersinia, you see that the Spelljammer, there's like beads of sweat dropping down her face, and she's like, and they're very powerful. And she'll explain to you. She'll say they have an aura aboard that ship. He's learned more than I would have liked of our ship. It's hard to concentrate. They're very powerful. That will be the Mind Flare's turn. That will bring us to Chaplain. What do you want to do, Chaplain?
Yeah, I'm going to try to jerry-rig the helm.
Go for it.
All right. Yeah, 23.
Your ship will gain a dash, right?
Yep.
Well done. You rig it up. You get there and you see the Spelljammer helm also in this sort of deep focus and distress, focusing her magics into sort of personal defense and everything. You rig it up. The ship begins to glow, or the helm itself begins to glow with energy. On the space galleon's next turn, they'll get a dash. Very good. If there's nothing else,
nope, that's it.
All right, Yersinia. What do you want to do as you are standing there at the helm? You just continue to hold?
There's not a whole lot I can really do here.
She'll put her hand on your forearm, Spelljammer, and she'll say, "Let me get us out of here, but you can take over when we hit cruise, okay?"
Yes, yes, whatever I can do to help you. Oh God, there is so much sweat.
He goes, "Thanks. I appreciate that comment." It's just like trying to like resist.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to Bersinia.
Did you mix the two names?
Exactly what he did.
Oh, but I did. I totally did. Bisan, my apologies. Bisan, what would you like to do? Still listening.
Are we at long range again?
You are back to long range, so still a disadvantage.
Disadvantage it is.
But you are quickly. I will also say you are quickly leaving even long range. Your ship is trying to, even if it can't make the jump, it's trying to make its way to the long range away. So this is like your probable last chance at a shot.
That's fine. I'm gonna take it, fuckers. 12 plus 5, 17.
17 will hit. Roll me some damage. 5d10.
All right. 6 and 6 is 12, and 3 is 15, and 5 is 20, and 3 is 23.
Ooh, 23. The anger of Bisan just destroying the ship over there. How much was that? 20 what?
23.
Very good. So that would be... Got it. Yeah, another stone hurls, one of the tentacles sort of writhing, and it just hits the end of one of these writhing tentacles. Massive ship-destroying tentacles, smashes into the side of one of them, and like it's like gone crooked from the damage, and it's just like not a very operable tentacle anymore. Incredible. All right, on the galleon's turn, there is the ship forwards forth in a dash. The Spelljammer is going to try and make a jump to long range. Succeeds. Your ship jumps forward. Here, the captain says, oh, I don't have her name in front of me. It says, "Now, Spelljammer," and the ship, all the stars begin to become a kaleidoscope of streaking light, and the space galleon boards away from the battle, leaving the Nautiloid behind. Woohoo! Yesenia, the Spelljammer puts her arm on yours, and you feel the immediate attunement transfer. And you plop into the seat, and you can hold the ship at cruise. You feel the damage on the ship. It's not life-threatening by any means, but it took a chunk out of your ship. Incredible. Is there anything anyone would like to do in the wake of your escape from the mind flayers?
I mean, I guess I'll just attend to the damage on the ship in a non-magical way.
Okay. Tell you what. I would like everyone except for Bisan to roll me a, let's call it a history check. Varsh, I'll say do it at advantage, just to see what everyone's base knowledge of mind flayers is.
My favorite enemy is actually aberrations, you think is what mind flayers are?
Absolutely. So you'll have it. So well, there you go. You already have advantage.
I have advantage anyway. Cool.
Cool.
D4.
Wow, I got badly anyway. That's a 7.
7 for Varsh. Would you get your Sinya?
24.
Very good. And Chaplain?
17.
17. Yesenia, this is your first... Oh, sorry, got them mixed up. Varsh, I would say that you've heard of mind flayers, and you've heard, like, they're bad, but that's about it. During your astral travels, you never ran into any. But you have sort of just heard sort of, old salt tales of, evil octopus monsters, and you're like, okay, cool. You thought they were a myth, maybe. Chaplain, you were in a similar situation when you were a prisoner on the Scorpion at the beginning of the war, where the Scorpion was forced to try and outrun a number of Nautiloids. So you were pretty much in this exact situation beforehand. And afterwards, you heard the whispers of the crew talking about mind flayers, these brain-eating beings of, like, massive psionic power.
Okay.
And lastly, what Bisan and Varsh will know is they're also known as Illithid. They are the scourge of sentient creatures of countless worlds. They are tyrants, slavers, and interdimensional voyagers, insidious masterminds, the harvesters of entire races to their own twisted ends. Both of you would know that the Gith race is a product of eons of slavery and inbreeding to create the perfect psionic slave warriors. And the same has happened to many races. Many Underdark races such as Drow, Duergar, owe their psionic potential to many thousands of years of slavery and breeding by the Illithid to create powerful psionic servants. So that is what you would be aware of the mind flayers, Yesenia and Bisan. And Yesenia, this is through books that you learn this. Yeah. And Bisan as well, but obviously Bisan, you have a little more up close and personal experience than everybody else here.
I think Bisan probably stands at that mangonel for a long while, like well past the time that everyone's like, oh, it's safe.
Yeah, you stand true. The rest of the crew kind of like stays there because you're there, kind of, and they're like, oh, we should stay? Like their first instinct, if it wasn't for you two, would have been like, okay, we did it, we got it, let's go. But you stay stationed, so they're like, oh, maybe we should follow suit. You hear the captain say, sort of put a hand on your shoulder, Bisan, and say, hold your position. They could follow us. I mean, we have a head start, so we'll be good wherever we're going. But whenever we get out of cruise, it might be behind us, so be careful. Stay true.
Yeah. Does not move.
Understood. And the captain sort of aways to find the Spelljammer helm, where the rest of the party and the Spelljammer, who is sort of like sitting on her bed, like holding her head. The captain emerges, and she shoots up to her feet, sort of like at attention. And he says, "We're not doing that anymore. and puts a hand on her shoulder and says, "Are you all right?" And actually, I'm gonna quickly swap over to the New Dawn so that we can see the scene play out, and I can account for all of our crew members. So this is kind of the, yeah, that elf is, I think I already deleted an elf, so we'll put her at the front.
Hey, quick question. Is the
Yeah.
elf who we shattered mentally before the combat the one who died, or is that guy still good?
That guy's still around. He goes,
Cool.
if I only had better, if I only knew my craft, perhaps I could have saved. He's somewhere on the
check in on
ship.
him.
Hey, buddy, how you doing? And he's like, if only I had the skill.
Yeah.
You would see At is around. He's like, he's using mending to try and help the ship as best he can, which he will add a little. He will add a little 4 hit points to the ship. That was the wrong number that I wrote down because I know my numbers. Only been doing this for a couple of years. But yeah, you head over to the Spelljammer home. Just want to account for folks. Come on. Set this. Okay, yeah, it's the Spelljammer. Spelljammer Suthra sitting on the bed. The captain would have came down. Chaplain's in there working on the helm, or was working on the helm at some point. Varsh, you're there with the oar, who I will get presently. And your Sinya, you're actually in the helm. And where are you, Or? There you are. Come on. There we go. Okay, you're all up in there. The captain says, Spelljammer Suthra, you did a very good job getting us out of there. She goes, Captain, I'm very sorry. I couldn't resist. Their aura, very, very powerful. I think they learned quite a deal about our ship. Just, do you know how much, possibly? It's hard to tell, but more than I'd like, but not enough to disable the ship. He goes, okay. Very good. It sort of pats her shoulder. Turns to you, Yersinia. Says, Mr. Voidlight, could you bring the orrery close?
Yes, sir.
Varsh, you bring forward the spectral of the wild space system into the room. And Yersinia, the captain, puts his hand on your shoulder and points to sort of, you know, or you do anyway, Varsh. You sort of bring it in a little closer, sort of magnify, and says, you see the second moon here of the planet just beneath us, Glyph?
Yes.
This is Megabu, is what it's called. This is where we're going. Set a course.
Megabu. All right, we are on our way.
All right. So I'll tell you what, between Varsh and Yersinia, and I want you guys to make me checks to make sure you work together well to head in the right direction. Varsh, if you'd make me a survival check. And you're, yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, cast guidance on myself first.
Sure. Yeah, you can cast guidance on yourself. So survival check for Varsh, and Yersinia, let's call it a. I'll call it a survival check as well. You guys are both trying to do the same thing here.
$17.
Very good. Yersinia?
Mine.
I can cast guidance on Yersinia.
Sure. D4 to Yersinia.
Oh, thank you. In that case, mine is a 19.
Very easily. It's not terribly hard to do. You guys are able to point the ship in the right direction and begin to move towards this strange body of orbital body. Captain says, all right. All right. We should be good if we make it to Yersinia. It's lightly populated, but there's a number of trade posts and inns that have defended themselves against Illithid well enough. We should be good there. We should be good there. Yes. Anything to report, or Should we be about our stations? Very good. And the captain will say, back to your posts, and we'll sort of depart for the foredeck.
Vash will remain in the room with Yesenia.
Or Sakwa will look at you and say, just sort of like look at you in the orrery, and she'll say, "Call me if you need anything, but you hold on to that, Mr. Boydlane."
Yes, ma'am.
And she'll depart for just like the main deck, keeping close but not too close. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll go. Go clock whatever Act's doing, and either assist or not be in the way, and try to assist with repairs somewhere else.
Yeah, you find At, and At goes, "Oh, Chaplain, hey, whoo, we took some damage there. Isn't this exciting?"
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right. I think most of the damage is down in the cargo hold, and you two can head down there. We haven't spent a lot of time below deck, but we'll put you guys down there now. I don't want to make my unique characters list too long, but maybe that's just the nature of the beast in this game. But you guys head downstairs where there's a big ballista bolt in the wall, and he goes, "All right, let's get to pulling this thing out." And the two of you can start fiddling away and trying to do some work on the hull where you can, but you can only do so many repairs while at flight.
Sure.
Spelljammer Suthra says, "Okay, I'm gonna go take some air. Yesenia, you have this?
Take your time. Take care of yourself.
Okay." And she'll just kind of not stumble, but clearly exerted. We'll find her way up to the main deck. Yep.
Just exerted, right? Like it's more like exhaustion than hurt.
Yeah, she's not physically harmed in any way, but it was a trial to go through. She's like a little tired it out, a little strained. I wouldn't even say like true exhaustion. She's just like taking a minute. It's more of like a narrative, like, "Ooh, that was a strain. I'm just gonna take a breather."
Okay, understood.
Cool. Yeah, but she's in as far as she could make a medicine check. See if
that is something I can do.
Anything particularly bad has happened to
her. 14.
14. Let's see. If anything bad's happened to her. You get the sense that it's more of like a psychological strain. She said that like the Aura learned a great deal of information, and that's like that would be on her. It's her job to sort of repel an enemy Aura, to which you get the sense that she wasn't able to succeed at doing terribly well. So maybe it's sort of like I need to go have like a bam kind of moment, Yeah. So, but physically, she is in good. Yeah, exactly. But physically, she is all right.
Gotcha. It's just me and Varsh in this room.
Yeah.
Yep, just you and Varsh now. The two best friends.
I think I'm just avoiding eye contact super hard.
This may be more useful to you than to me, and I take the 50 GP diamond out of my bag. It was on the Spelljammer I killed.
Oh. Yes, the one you killed. Okay. Okay.
I'm kind of just holding out this diamond.
Yeah, she takes it. Thank you.
They also had this takes out the metal rod. Imagine you could probably use this for focusing your spells if you need it. Otherwise, I was planning to just sell it at some point.
Nothing comes to mind right now, but I will take the metal rod.
Okay.
I think she just kind of, all right, I'll keep it for safekeeping. You never know when things come up.
Fair enough.
And I wanted to apologize.
For
I understand that my behavior was frightening and, dare I say, shameful.
when you put up the idea of a veteran who disappeared in a battle, whatever. There comes an idea of a person with that, and murder after surrender is definitely against that notion I was given originally. Varsh Voidlight.
The worst aspect is that I can't promise it won't happen again. In fact, kind of like holds his head a little head just because it will almost certainly happen again. I'm stuck.
What is the notion of your sticking?
Before we found the pirates, you witnessed me
Talking to your lady?
Yeah, well, yes. I'm uncertain how much you'll permit me to say, but understand I answer to a higher power at the moment, and despite what I'm then forced into a position where I must compromise my own principles for the sake of appeasing her.
I suppose if you're stuck in a situation, my feelings on it are null and void. But as much as I feel skeeved around it enough to sweating, you were good in the fight, and I'll deal with my own morals and ethics in my time.
I'm thankful for your prudence.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, I would need to extend the same apology to Bisan. I think she was, dare I say, furious with me.
She was glaring. I thought she was going to cut your head off.
It's funny, really. She's very much like the soldier I aspired to be long ago, but I guess I wasn't so lucky.
Luck turns around. You can be whatever kind of soldier you want to be at some point. Just try harder.
Well, call upon me if you need any aid with maintaining course. I'll keep your Ori by my side.
Thank you. I shall. Let me know if the baby stone has any feelings on this.
I'll be checking it over shortly.
All right.
And I
now
go
please leave.
I leave and go in search of Bisan.
Okay. Two things. First off, Yersinia, you hear in your head. Sounds like that. Or the Nautiloid learned a great deal of this ship.
would seem that way. It seems like my Spelljammer mentor is not mentally prepared for molestations of that nature.
Well, I think it would be fitting to perhaps find out just how much you're learned of the ship and its contents. Perhaps this is worth investigating, Yesenia.
Good idea. When I have a moment to leave the helm, I will ask questions.
We do not wish to make an enemy of the mind flames.
No, of course not.
The voice goes quiet, after which Varsh Voidlight.
I'm ready for Bisan.
You, as you begin to walk down the companionway, pretty much where you were last time, the hull begins to grow black and dark once more, except for except oh fuck. Let me change up that music so we can be there. You feel a cold wind blow, and you feel it coming like a wind in your direction. And that wind comes from a moon that you can see. And you hear a most entertaining prospect, Vash Woodlights. You have done well.
I bow my head.
You bow your head. It says, admittedly, most of the entertainment was not of your doing, but I appreciate the lengths you're willing to go to appease my curiosity.
It only make sense to do everything I can to impress someone of your great and powerful majesty, my lady.
You are quite right. Behind the light of the moon, that full moon that you seem to be moving ever present closer toward, and the cold seems to get worse and worse, and you find yourself shivering and shaking. Behind it, you almost see sort of shadows in the dark, silhouettes, feminine silhouettes in the dark. But amidst it all, you see they all seem to be holding very ornate, large silver keys. And they say, sort of in unison, make an offering to me when you reach the moon where my powers are greatest, and I shall reward you thus. More than just the powers I've granted you. What was that?
What form would you have this offering take?
A sacrifice. It need not be the life of one of your crewmates, though it would be amusing to see your choice. A simple rabbit, a bird, a beast will do, as long as the offering is something you value, Bashford. And I shall thrust upon you not just the magics I've granted you, but something to warm the nights.
It will be done, my lady.
Very good, Mr. The dark seems to preen away, the cold seems to go, and you find yourself standing in the moderate temperature of the hull, shivering utterly, whether from the cold or perhaps from fear.
I decide against going to find Bisan and go down to the crew quarters to calm down.
Okay, you go down to the crew quarters and you take some time to calm down. No problem. Okay, is there anything anyone else would like to do while you are at cruise speed? It will not take long to get to the moon.
So that probably worked out for the best. Bisan will stay in that place at the Manganao and try to do like the clearing the mind, I am the void, I am open, I'm like with all of her young Jedi psionic training, looking for the first sign of it, and she will not move until either the captain or the commandant relieves her. Period.
Got it. I would like you to make me either a history or an insight check. It is your choice.
That's probably going to be an insight check, but let me see.
Fair enough.
Oh, holy cow, they're the same. Never mind, I guess it doesn't really matter. But we're going to go with insight because of what she is, and a 19.
A 19. You recall the teachings of the Githzerai, the Archons. You are in this moment. Every muscle in your body is tense with not focus, but hatred. And despite what happened, you know what they would tell you. That these emotions that you're feeling are a distraction, that they hamper your vision. Whether you choose, of course, to follow these teachings or not, you know that the Archons would not approve of your current deeply emotional state and would implore you that if you wish to, connect to the void, connect to the power of the void, you should be calm and you should be focused and not so driven by emotion like the Githyanki often are.
She'll try.
She'll try. Right. Would you like to do a check to try, see if she manages?
Yeah, I would.
Why don't we call it a wisdom saving throw? I'll set the DC at 10.
That's an 11 on the dice, and wisdom save as a 12 total.
Very nice. You sort of breathe. You realize how tense you are. Everything from your jaw to the biceps, and you start with the physical. You calm the tension out of your body. You sort of breathe away as much of the emotion as you can, and you're able to come to a more calm state. Still focused, still ready for battle, still correct amount of tension, but the heat of hatred sort of suppressed. Okay, very good. And you kind of, at that moment, as your focus sort of returns to the moment as opposed to the past, you realize the 4 other crew members manning the mangonel are like, it's like, not like you've done anything wrong, but like they feel your intensity, and it's holding them to their duty, but you realize the effect you've had on the people around you. They're not mad at you or anything. They feel your tension, and it's sort of hard not to take that emphatically.
She'll as she relaxes, she'll just simply say, "We should stay vigilant. That's no good."
Yeah, you feel the mental communion of the Thrycreen, who all say like, "Yeah, no, it's a good idea." They all kind of just like nod at one another, and yep, they all sort of band together. You see the captain pacing on the deck, hands behind the back, sort of just waiting for the arrival of the moon. Is there anything else anyone would like to do on the ship before arriving at the moon in short order? Okay. With that, the streak of light ends. You get that Star Wars title card of like flying up to this very white moon. Not because it's made of cheese, but because it is a winterscape on this planet. You can see even from here, massive bodies of Arctic snow, glaciers. This is a very cold place you're going to. Varsh, between you and Sakwa. Did I get that completely wrong? Yep. Songquo, there we go. Between you and Songquo, you guys sort of zoom in to the or into the wild space orrery, and you're able to identify a good trading post and to take the ship in. And as we have that sort of camera wipe from Star Wars, you guys managed to make it to a outpost, which I am going to put before you. And where is your ship? I need to get your ship out, or at least a mini for one, to make it all look. That's a bombard. There we go. It's definitely gonna be bigger than this. And for the first time, in a very cool way, Yesenia, the Spelljammer, is going to come to help you. But you see there is this outpost that's sort of built on the water outside. And she says, okay, Yesenia, you want to try and land this in the water?
Yeah, the second time's the charm, right?
I'll be here. And she directs you. I want you to make me, we'll call it a Spelljammer helm check, which is just going to be D20 plus proficiency plus your spell casting modifier, which I believe for you is wisdom.
Yes.
Yes. So go ahead and roll all those together, and we'll see how soft landing is. Uh-oh.
9. 4
oh,
plus 3 plus 2, 9.
2 would have been bad. 9, the ship is going to come down. Ooh, and she's like, easy does it. Easy, easy. And then very, very much when you're on a, maybe not on an airplane, because they do come down pretty softly. It's being really well trained and all that. But the ship's like, here's the water level, here's the bottom of the hull. Like into the water, and the whole ship sort of lurches forward. I'll have everyone roll strength save except for Yesenia, who is seated.
The best way I can think about it is like when someone just learned to drive and every time they brake, they do it with the full force of their whole foot.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect analogy.
I got a 3 on my strength save.
Amazing.
I'm so sorry, Chaplin.
What'd you get, Varsh? 22. Varsh, what'd you get?
13.
13. Everybody's good except for, it sounds like that was Chaplin
Throw
who rolled really
Chaplin
low.
into the water.
Chaplin, luckily you were below deck at the time, and you just get thrown, and you hit a wall. You're gonna take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I think the same thing happens to At, who takes the same amount of damage. Well, luckily everyone here is ex-military, so there's no commoners here to die from your Sinya's landing, but it very well could have.
God.
Thank God. It's very possible if anyone here was a civilian, but luckily for you, no one is.
I
think
you got a big.
Chaplin's going to crack up laughing and be like, "That was terrible."
You're saying it just... Yes, I know. It's better than my first one.
Yeah, the Spelljammer, she goes, it was actually, that's funny you say that.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, after that sort of lurch, Captain says, sound out, is everybody alive? And you hear like a across the deck of the ship. And he goes, good. And you're seeing you're gonna get some looks, maybe for the rest of the day. Like people are like doing stuff like, way to go, man. And you sorry. But nonetheless, the ship sort of people are put up on the canvas is brought down. You are sort of relieved both Spelljammers are relieved the Spelljammer helm. And you kind of walk onto the deck and people are like pulling down rope and they're like looking at you, your Sinyas. They've got like a blue welt on their head and like the ship becomes, for all intents and purposes, like a true galleon in this moment. And you take to the waters of this strange place just fine. Oh man, I have no music going. That's crazy.
Come on, man, get your shit together.
Yeah, right. Where is that one track I really like? Crooks and Barrel, Crooks and Barrel, Crooks and Barrel. Where are you? There you are, Crooks and Cast. There, see how fast I set up that board? I'm so good. Yeah, you guys sort of sail across. It's not very long, but you are going to come into a very small little port outside of a very, very small little out in the middle of nowhere trading post. As your ship takes water and anchors and lands and drops the gangplank. And all of you find your way to this little trading post here. I'm just gonna, I don't think I'm gonna drop too many minis down, except maybe the ones that I need to remember the names of. But you all come to this trading post and step off, and you guys are going to be greeted by, let's see if anyone specifically tends to this post out here in Nagabu. All right, now let's. No, no one specific. You see this human man come out in deep furs. It is very cold here. It's very Arctic. There is winter gear stocked in the actual ship that all of you are given access to. So it's nothing that you own, but it's enough that you can use it today. And you will be welcomed by this one really jolly-looking human with a big white beard. He has a fur coat that is blue, and everyone's like, "Oh." And he comes out and he goes, "Oh, welcome, traveler. No docking fee here. Just come and warm yourselves by the fire inside. Always nice to have visitors." The captain approaches this man, shakes his hand, and says, "Well, thank you for your hospitality. We have plenty of goods to trade, services for anything we may need. Does that suit you?" He goes, "Oh, of course it does. I have many trade contacts here. That'd be just wonderful. Yeah, please come on inside and get yourselves all nice and warmed up. But who are you?" He goes, "Oh, I'm Captain Lunarbow." He goes, "You're Captain Lunarbow. I've heard of you. Is it true that you defeated 3 scroll ships in a single battle aboard 1 space galleon?" He goes, looks at Bisan, back at him, goes, "Yeah. Anyway." Goes, "Let's move right along." And all of you are allowed into the winter outpost. It is very cold here, but there's a nice warm hearth. This individual and a number of Hadozi are inside that sort of tend to the fire and will start working out the trade with the captain. And all of you are left to, there is a little while there where you're expected to move some boxes. And you do. It doesn't take too long. But after of which, the captain just goes to work on some trade. And you guys are free to take some time. The captain says, "Everybody, take a little of downtime. We'll set out in a day or two once we figured out what we're doing next. But according to our friend here, the Illithid will not follow us onto this moon. I think we lost them in the storm and in the winterscape. So be about your business, but keep not too far away."
Right.
Gives you guys some shore leave. So what would you like? Is anything anyone want to do during this time, this day or two?
I think Chaplin, for the most part, is going to spend time continuing on the repairs since those won't have been finished yet. But we'll definitely take some time inside the training post just to kind of observe everybody coming and going, and to enjoy the amusement of watching people kind of fumble around in there and make their purchases, or just enjoy their downtime.
Got it. So, just so you know, Mr. Bosun, I will tell you the ship repair rules because they'll be important to you. Non-magical repairs to damage on the ship can be made while the vessel is berthed, which it is right now.
Yep.
Repairing 1 hit point of damage to a berthed ship takes 1 day and costs 20 gold pieces for materials and labor. Damage to shipboard weapons can be repaired just as quickly, 1 hit point per day, but half the cost.
Okay.
So 10 gold point pieces. So, let's see. Let's see. The captain is going to provide you and at 40 gold pieces for material repairs, as you're going to be here for 2 days. So that will cover 2 hit points, and he will say, please use the mending cantrips to the best of your abilities while we are here, and at the end of the 2 days, let me know how your progress is going, and we'll see if we can just spend more time here repairing the ship. How's that sound, Mr. Fool's Gold?
That sounds fantastic. Happy to be of service.
Excellent. So if you'd be so kind, you can cast mending once an hour. So that is 48. Well, you're going to sleep. You're not going to get up every hour during your sleep to do this.
No,
So
for 6 hours at a time, or goes inert for 6 hours at a time, I think.
Got it. So I'm going to do 48 minus 12. So between you and At, that is going to be 72 castings of mending. But if you'd be so kind, this might be fun. What is your wisdom modifier?
+4.
4?
Yes.
Oh. It's not even worth doing. In fact, you would know, Mr. Fool's Gold. Between your and At's mending cantrip, you're not going to need the 40 gold to repair the ship. You could get it done in a day.
Great. All right, sounds good.
Do you tell the captain this, or do you claim the...
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, no, I would definitely tell the captain that with much pride. Oh, no need for the gold. I'm sure we can have it done in a day.
At nods at you and following your lead and goes, yeah, a day. That's all we would need.
We're
and the and then the captain looks at the two of you and sort of gives you a little nod and says, that's very good to hear. All right, we will rely on your skills. Let me know if there's anything you require.
I think we should be just fine. Little rest and a little downtime, and we'll be great.
Excellent. He says, and we'll take the 2 days regardless. I think the crew could use a little time to celebrate this most recent victory. At which point, I think the captain actually will sort of address the crew as he post downtime. And maybe all of you are sitting around. I think the captain is going to use a very small portion of the repair money to buy the crew a couple rounds of drinks, say 2 rounds of drinks in the trade post. And he's going to say, well, everybody, we had ourselves our first job and our first victory. I admit, didn't expect it to be quite as exciting as it ended up being, but nonetheless, things are what they end up being, is it not so true? The wild space journey is one fraught with peril and unexpected turns, but the test of a true crew is how they deal with it. And I could say there are very few crews in all of the wild space seas that could have possibly opposed such challenge with grace and poise and courage. So I thank you all. And I have a feeling that the new dawn is going to be it's going to be in the verse for quite some time. And we'll know our names, perhaps. And maybe we'll do better than just a couple of gold here and there. Well done, crew of the New Dawn. Here's to a bright future. And he raises a cup. And it seems that the crew's morale is fairly high around here. They do seem to take the recent situation as a great victory, having taken a good haul and evaded a Nautiloid. So everyone raises their glasses. All of you, as I had forgotten to do previously, will say that for whatever reason, you're just going to get paid right now. Just that, you're going to get paid right now. So you guys were paid for that first day aboard the ship. So that's 1, 2, 3. You'll be paid for your downtime as well. So that's 4, 5. Everybody add 10 gold to your inventory. He is also, at the end of your This is actually going to happen on day 2, but I'm going to let it happen anyway, as long as we're doing bookkeeping. There's also going to be a 20 gold bonus to each of you for the hull taken. The captain insists that any sort of any excess is going to be split evenly amongst the crew, regardless of position.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, turning back around, what would you guys like to do? You have some downtime aboard the ship in the trade post out in the winterscape. As long as you're not too far from the ship, what would you like to do?
I definitely want to play tricks on drunks. So um, I would like to use something, thaumaturgy or something, to kind of like, what I want is to start a bar fight. So like if someone's standing directly in front of someone else, to keep like blowing on the back of their like hair and ears until they turn around and get mad at the person behind them.
All right, make me a deception check to see if you can pull off some bar fight shenanigans.
Oh, that was almost 18. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Crit. Natural 20.
Natural 20. Chaplain, you set your mind to something, and about 5 minutes later, whether the party wishes to be involved or not, the rest of the crew breaks out into like a huge bar fight in the middle of the trade post, where someone's like, they're, and it's not. I would say in the wake of the new morale, people are like, it's sort of like a, you're asking for it. He goes, I don't know what you're talking about, and it's not like a like I want to pummel you until your face is purple. I hate you kind of bar
Right.
fight, but it's sort of like a friendly bar fight, so to speak,
Like
where it's like a lot of body
big brother,
blows.
best friend kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of being tossed across tables and stuff, and things are getting damaged. And you're sort of like applauding with glee. And at a certain point, the captain steps in and he says, "Attention!" And everyone's sort of like in that military background, sort of calls to attention, looks over. The bar fight quickly comes to an end as you see the captain standing in the doorway, not looking terribly happy, and saying, I would like to remind the crew that, while indeed such matters are to be resolved off the ship, I'd ask that you please don't do it inside of the sanctuary we've been provided out here. So with that said, why doesn't the whole crew head outside and maybe take the air for 10 minutes? No, sir, I do not believe you need your coat. I think your camaraderie here has granted your body great warmth, wouldn't you say? Everyone out. Everyone sort of is made to stand in the cold for 10 minutes. Except you, Chaplain. He stops you and he goes, oh no, Mr. Fool's Gold. I'm fairly certain that you'll be happy to do repairs for our hosts, yes?
Absolutely. I'll get right back to it.
Mm-hmm. I assume you will. And he turns over having he knows very quickly who you are. He's got your number immediately. But he doesn't seem to punish you as much as the others for whatever reason. Okay. I'll tell you what. We're getting right towards the halftime here, so while everybody's thinking about some stuff they'd like to do around the outpost, why don't we take our 5-10 minute break, and we'll be back shortly.
Huzzah! That was fun.
Good. I'm glad it was fun. All right, I'll be back.
The pure guilt I feel at all times right now.
Yeah, you put yourself in a miserable situation, man.
Oh, it I mean, like, it's supposed to be like in everything you have to think really hard, like, what do I do now? How do I get out of this? I solemnly swear I will not attack any of you guys. But I'm like, something, could I have used that bar fight to try and accidentally kill someone? Oh no, I punched them too hard. I'll get it.
I had my mic turned off so you couldn't hear me, but I was laughing about that. That's actually really funny that you considered that.
I think it's just because ultimately the request is something I care about, and it's kind of like I haven't known the crew long enough for that to actually really count.
Okay, just on how the song. We'll get to it. Oh man, we're just playing on Carl now.
Is how?
Maybe not, huh?
Hal appears to be having issues with his laptop.
Okay, well let's get to it, and hopefully Hal will be able to return to us. But if they have a dead computer and it won't charge, that's don't know how you fix that. Okay, let's hop to it. So you find yourself at this little outpost. What would you all like to do?
Vash is gonna try and find like a secluded spot outside in the cold.
Not too hard. Seen. You see that there are these. I'll say that the trader said like, oh yeah, as long as you bring him back, they're on loan. Like this guy's like super trustworthy for whatever reason. And you see sort of saddled and with a bits of brittle sort of tied off to this post, you see these a bipedal, almost kangaroo-like, heavily furred creatures. They have like ram-like horns, and yeah, they're kind of mounted up there, and you're welcome to take one and kind of find a ways away if you want to.
Sure.
It goes. Hang on, I'll get a sound effect. But it makes a sound, and you can sort of traipse into the cold weather that it's meant for.
I don't want to go too far, just enough that like no one will see, and I'm unlikely to be followed.
Got it. Not very hard to do. This is a bit of a tundra wasteland. Hang on. Yeah, you make your way out into the wasteland. Your creature makes a sound like something like okay, well that's not what I asked for. Come on, work with me. Work with me. Oh no, I don't want any of that. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sounds like that. And you travel out into the wasteland, and you can still see. Sorry, what was that?
Nothing. I was just making the taunt sound.
Yeah, basically. And you make your way not so far that you can't see the trading post off in the distance, but certainly far away that nobody's going to stumble onto you.
Excellent. I find a place to kind of like tie off the tauntaun so it doesn't run off.
Okay, fair enough. Tie off the tauntaun.
And I take out my diary.
All right, you take out your diary. Oh my God, Bisan was looking so good today, and
Vash's diary is kind of filled with. Essentially, it starts off like the very beginning is when he first kind of started out in the military, and then starts like properly dated and stuff. Well, as far as dating as you can manage in in space. Yeah. And
there's
then
it is marked off by I think I talked about this last session, but spacefarers such as yourself mark them off as like standard days and months.
Yeah, and then but then kind of following the attack by the Skrull, dating's out the window all the time he spent in the astral sea. He doesn't know how long it's been.
Yeah, personal
time was a bit of a mystery there. So it's all just kind of things you've seen like today. It's all like a celestial whale or whatever, narrowly avoided a Gith Yankee patrol on the Red Dragons and so on. And kind of read through some of the old like notes and then kind of lays it down on the ground, takes out his long sword and kind of like carves a line into his hand and kind of draws at least attempts to draw a crescent moon onto the kind of cover of the book in his own blood.
Ooh. Not terribly hard. For whatever reason, it comes out quite perfectly. Like even in moments where you're like, oh no, I spilt it a little to the side, and you kind of do your best to fix it. It ends up fixing. You're able to fix it quite perfectly, and it's a perfect crescent moon.
And then to kind of finish off the ritual, kind of stab the blade into the diary itself as like a almost as if to kill the old void light.
Damn. The moment you stab into it, as if flooding from the stab wound itself, very sort of Chamber of Secrets-esque. There is blood comes out of the book, similar to the blood that you painted on the front of it. It sort of begins to pour out and fill in the crescent moon until it becomes full, and then almost darkness spills from between the lines of the darkened moon and the actual pages of your book, enrapturing you in a cocoon of darkness. The whole landscape becomes black. The sky is starless, except for the couple of moons. And that is worth noting for everybody here is that while you are on this planet, you can see a moon, a sun, meteorites. The sky is filled. It is not a single moon sky or a single sun sky by any means. One sun, but many moons, and a rather large planet that it is a moon too. And all of this floods forth into a starless sky, and you feel deep appeasement within the ether that you have bound yourself to in this moment. You hear the voices in unison in concert, these three voices. Well done, Voidlight. An unexpected and potent sacrifice. Not a crewmate, not a beast you might feast upon if it were other way, but your own life. You sacrifice the nostalgia of what you were to become what I will shape you into. Much like... Go ahead, sir.
You asked for something personal. I don't know my crew well enough, and an animal I have no attachment to. But my life before, that meant something.
I feel your yearning for what was, and I enjoy the pain caused you to sacrifice this omen to us. Well done. You see a silver key before you once more sort of appears in silvery moonlight before you. And you hear, produce the stone.
I take out my piece of moonstone.
As you do so and hold it in front of you, she says, hold it before the key and unlock power like which you never imagined much.
I kneel down and offer up the stone.
You see the key itself seems to, as you maybe put the thing like before the egg, the key sort of moves down behind it, like almost like an eclipsing kind of way, as if the stone were the sun or another moon, and the key, like a celestial body, sort of circles behind the actual stone and disappears behind it, not into it. And you hear, and it is done. This stone will unlock for you power, loyal by my seal. Go, Vosh Whitelight, and be the terror of your whole crew. Goodbye.
Oh god.
In the darkness fades away as you feel the power of the moon wax before you, and you hold the stone in your hands, and it feels warm to the touch. Warmer, anyway.
Kind of take a breath. And press my ear to the stone, like, trying to listen for anything.
You listen. Make me a perception check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You press your ear to it. Listen for anything. Here, a slow, steady heartbeat has begun within the stone. And as you turn it over, you see in the almost immaculately polished side that you have seen to of the silvery stone, you see there is what looks to be almost like a stamp or a mark of an ornate key on the side of it where the key disappeared behind your stone.
Kind of like trace the pattern of the like symbol of my finger.
Yep, you do so. Nothing happens, but you do so. You trace it.
I kind of become aware of the cold again, and I put the egg back into my pack and retrieve my trusty steed.
As you mount your tauntaun, you hear it go, and it sort of like steadies back a little bit. It seems to be like spooked for some reason.
Try and wrangle it, like, not now.
Make an animal handling check.
This can only go well. 13.
13. You're able to calm it, but for a moment, as you see emerging from the side of the snow, a huge beast erupts, large horns curled back, a massive gorilla-like body covered in white fur, large sharp teeth, and it slaughters your mount right in front of you, carving its neck with its massive claws, and you're thrown to the snow. What do you do?
Oh god, I'm pretty far from the place, am I? Shit.
What do you do?
I cast Fog Cloud.
Fog Cloud goes off, having taken a notion from your friend, perhaps. And the creature roars angrily. What next? Blinded.
I then start to run towards the.
All right, you go running. The creature bounds after you. It hears you running. It's faster than you. What do? It's gonna catch up on your next round, probably.
Shit. How big is this thing?
This is a large creature. It is huge. It's taller than a horse. It's probably a good 10 feet tall.
I have not rested, so I still can't use. Not that you understand me anyway. Let's see. Give me a second. Okay. This might. God, I hope this carries. I'm going to use Thaumaturgy to make my voice boom really loud.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and just kind of yell as loud as I can. Back away, beast! And try and intimidate it.
Make an intimidation check at advantage.
12.
12. See if we'll check the creature's willpower. The creature unfortunately maintains a ferocious courage from you despite the great booming voice that comes from you. Is there anything else?
I'm hoping anyone in the I'm hoping someone heard that as well.
Perhaps it is a voice sound carries out here, so it's a good chance. It's a good chance. But as it comes upon you, and it's looking at you as it's charging, I need you to make a con saving throw.
Okay. That's not good. That's an 8.
That's an 8. You find that its cold, chilling gaze courses over you. You are going to take 8 points of cold damage, and you are paralyzed. In this moment, you are chilled to the bone by the fear of its gaze as you clutch the stone to your heart, and the creature comes upon you, and as he swings his great claw down on you, it goes black.
No.
Somewhere
I'm
at the
dead.
trade post. Maybe, maybe not. Somewhere at the trade post, you're all sort of waiting around. Bisan, you hear the sound of Varsh echo across the Arctic scape. Here in the cold night, what do you do?
Where am I?
You're standing beside the Tauntauns.
Oh. Well, I will raise an alarm.
All right, you find your way to the captain or onto the ship, I suppose, and ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. Everybody sort of comes to, sort of scattering about to man their stations. The captain comes to you and says, "Bisan, what's going on?"
I will explain what I heard, and
Okay.
I know there's someone, because I was by the Tauntauns, so I know there's one missing, and one of our people is calling for help.
He nods his head and says, "All right. Okay. I think you might have done the right thing."
I'm
He's sort of like,
going to a ballista
okay.
and going to look for a target.
He puts a hand on your shoulders. You begin to leave. He says, "Bisan, voice carries out here. How good are you at tracking?"
I'm good.
"I want you to gather 2 others from the crew, and I want you to take what's left of the Tauntauns and go out and find Mr. Voidland. Is that understood?" "If you find any danger, do not engage. Return. This is a scouting mission."
I would grab Chaplain and Yersinia.
Okay. We'll see you grab Yersinia. That's okay. Yep. Yersinia goes, "All right, now come."
You can look at.
Yeah. Fantastic. As you're going to leave, the captain says, "Spread about, cover more ground, and remember, if you find danger, do not engage. Return."
And I will reiterate those orders to Chaplain and Yersinia. We don't engage.
Okay. I look to you, Chaplain says, "Don't worry, I'll cover up the rest of the repairs. We're almost done. Great. Go get him, Mr. Fool's Gold."
Yes, sir. I'll be back momentarily.
And he goes flying off on his Hadozi glider wings. You guys mount up on Tauntauns, and you guys sort of spread apart. Chaplain Bisan, if you make me survival checks, please, to go track anything down.
That is a dirty 20.
Very good.
Oh, and I got a 23.
A 23. 23. So you got a 20 and a 23?
Yeah.
Okay. You two are making your way off. As you guys spread apart at different points in time, not together, you find the tracks of. So I'll say Bisan, you find basically, you don't know what happened, but you find Varsh's sort of offering site. You find a couple of drops of blood on the ground, and then you see the much larger tracks and then drag marks. You, Mr. Fool's Gold, find the tracks of whatever monstrous creature this are and a couple drops of blood, and the two of you find yourselves sort of traveling along the path towards a cave mouth.
All right. What's do I know that I mean, have Bisan and I seen each other?
Yeah, you guys sort of intersect like 2 or 3 minutes of travel outside of the mouth of the cave, and then travel the rest of the way together.
And is Yersinia with us?
Yersinia, no. Yersinia apparently failed their survival check and is out there somewhere. Still
Okay.
looking.
We will go back for her.
Yeah. And all of you're on pretty fast amounts, and you're also all on orders to return if you find danger. So Yersinia shouldn't be in trouble.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
We should probably try to get to Varsh as quickly as possible in case he's in trouble.
You find the mouth of the cave where the trail ends within. What do? Do you return? Do you enter? What's the plan?
Oh, I think we want to enter, don't we?
We can enter, but if there's something large in there. Can I make an insight check? Like, does this count as whatever's in there? It's going to be dangerous. We should go get back up now. Like,
that's up to you. I'm afraid there's no roll. That's a judgment call.
If that's a judgment call, how big do these tracks look? Does it look quadrupedal or bipedal? Whatever I'm tracking.
It looks bipedal, and it has much like an ape. I use gorilla as the analogy. It has like posable thumbs on its foot and claws on its legs as well. So this is some kind of large predatory bipedal creature.
How far can we see into the mouth of the cave?
Not far. Not far. There's a bend, so not too far.
How well does everyone see in the dark? That is a good question. Oh, I don't think I do see in the dark.
Oh. No dark vision installed on this construct.
I don't think so.
I don't think Gith do either, do they?
Nope.
Or do no? Okay.
We go back and get help.
You go back and get help. Okay.
We're not equipped to make this assault.
Okay. As chaplain, you turn around under those orders. Bisan, you kind of look, taking a last look at the cave. I need you to make a con save.
Both of us?
Nope, just Bisan.
Should be decent. 18 plus 5, 23.
23. You see these two purple beads in the dark, and you feel this chill come over you, but you manage to resist. And then storming out from the cave, at the end of its movement, reaching, not attacking, but reaching you and your Tauntaun. Oh, never mind. It gets the attacks too. It storms out of the cave. This massive white-furred gorilla-like creature with long horns atop its head comes flying out of the cave at you, Bisan, and takes 2 claw attacks off of the back of your Tauntaun. 16 and 21 to hit.
A 21 will hit.
You're going to take 8 slashing damage, 3 cold damage. What do you guys do? Chaplain, you see this.
Yeah, Bisan just took that damage?
Yep.
All right.
Retreat. Oh, sorry.
I guess the first thing I'm going to do is heal Bisan.
You do hear Bisan. You heal Bisan, but you hear Bisan say retreat.
Yep. So I'll administer the heal first. I assume I can get easily close enough to touch her.
Yeah, you can ride in to touch her, and you do so.
All right. So that's going to be 7 points of healing.
7 points of healing to Bisan.
And then I heard her say retreat, so we're going to retreat.
All right, your Tauntaun dashes, Chaplain. You go dashing off of like 100 feet away from the encounter, back towards the ship. Very good. What do you do, Bisan, in this moment?
We are going to haul. We were in the process of doing that anyway. We had just made the decision to go back, so we're just going back faster now.
All right, you turn around, your Tauntaun moves into a dash, There will be an opportunity attack from the creature as it's going to try and sort of push you from the back of your mount.
Okay.
I need you to make me an athletics or acrobatics check. It is your choice.
Athletics.
Athletics.
Possibility, that's a 15 on the dice. I think I've got a +6. Yeah. So that is a 21 total.
21. It rolls a 23, I'm afraid to say. And though you see it coming and you sort of prepare yourself with all of your might, this creature has great strength about it, and he smashes you from the back of your tauntaun. Your tauntaun runs after Chaplain. And you lay in the snow before this beast. What do you do?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is scream for Chaplain.
Okay. Chaplain, you're well, that will, if that's all.
I mean, can I look to see, like, do I get to do anything else? Are we in initiative? Or...
Yeah, you have half, if you want to stand up, that's half your movement, and you'll have your action and bonus action left. You're your full turn still.
All right. I really don't have a whole lot that I can do here. All right. But I don't have much of a choice, so all right, I am going to take the rest of my move. Like, he's already hit me. He's already taken his attack, so I can continue to disengage.
Yeah, you don't need to disengage.
So I don't need to disengage. Can I action dash?
You certainly can.
Then that's what I'm going to do.
All right, you stand up, half your movement, you action dash, that's 45 feet. You run off into the snow 45 feet, doing your best to get away. And you're going to get quite far. That will bring us to its turn. It comes charging after you, Bisan. Make me another con save.
Okay, I think that is a 20. It's a 16 on the dice. I think it's a 22.
Yeah, you're good. You're fine.
21.
No, you're totally fine. It comes charging after you. It tries to mark you with its gaze, but you manage to override it. It's a little short before it can actually make an attack on you, which will bring us to Chaplain. Chaplain, you're like, you're on the back of your tauntaun. You see Bisan's tauntaun run by. You hear the sound of the two of them fighting it out. Chaplain, you have your orders, but you hear Bisan calling to you for aid. You have a decision to make, my friend. The creature's nearly upon Bisan, but you have sure enough distance to get away if you wanted to. What do you do?
Sure. I am going to actually, so there's a little it looks like Chaplain is basically molded, but there's kind of like a headdress type helmet thing that it looks like he's wearing on his head, and it has, like, in the headband of that, there's some little, essentially like small squares, and one of them kind of slides open, and there's a little gold nugget inside, about the size of a pearl, that begins to shine, and he says, Master Trickster, Master Trickster, your Glitterbright calls to you. Allow me to use your powers of confusion to cast duplicity. I'm going to cast a duplicity right in front of the whatever that is, Yeti thing.
Sure. How far can you cast it?
And have it stand there, and kind of do almost exactly the pose that he's doing, right? To be kind of sort of grandiose and to try to call its attention, and to hold its ground while Bisan, continues to attempt to escape.
All right. How far can you put the duplicity?
30 feet.
30 feet.
And then I can move it 30 feet.
Got it. So you put it in the snow 30 feet away, and sort of calls out to the Yeti. You're a little far away. You're not very much an immediate target as of yet, but that might change. What do you do as far as movement? Do you make your?
I'm going to swing my tauntaun back around toward Bisan to try to like intercept her along her path and swing her up on the tauntaun.
So you get like right up behind her like that.
Yeah. I mean, she's going to be running again. Like it's trying to catch up to her, but not quite making it yet, right?
Got it. So you want to be like here so that there's like
Yeah. So that there's
a mount.
room for us to leave the duplicity behind.
Got it. Okay, you ride up to there. Fantastic. That'll bring us to Bisan's turn. Bisan, you're not in melee range with the creature. You see Chaplain sort of turn back. You have an opportunity to mount and escape. What do you do?
I jump on the turkey. Tauntaun.
You turn around, you run, use half your movement to jump on the back of Chaplain's Tauntaun, and you make it. Fantastic. Is there anything else?
Fast. Try it. Go. Turkey. Yeah.
Got it. Bisan in her very sort of emotionally mute way, sort of kind of like how Batman panics and where he doesn't really actually ever panic. He just kind of very very insistently tells you to do something. Incredible. The creature is going to close the range to the tauntaun, and seems to have its eye on Bisan right now. Could you make me another con save, Bisan?
That was a 15.
So 15. 15's a save. Is going to run up and he's going to try and grapple you. Make me an athletics or acrobatics check. It is your choice. Try and grapple you off the back of the turkey. I mean tauntaun.
No, not you. You're inconsistent. You're inconsistent too. Fuck you. We're gonna use you. Don't fuck me.
Oh no.
All right, so no. That was a nat 20. So I want to say that it's a 26 or some such.
Then you're fine on a nat 20. The dice seem to be well in your favor today. It tries to grab you, but you're ready for it this time. And you kind of just like bring your blade around to sort of like almost cut its hand. Like, you know, you can't overpower it, but you know you can sort of coax it away. And you try to get like a good cut off on its thumb, and it brings its hand back. And it's going to try one last grapple on you with its last attack. Give me another athletics check or acrobatics.
All right, you know what?
Make it.
You've rolled all right today. 21.
21. That's a 22, I'm afraid to say. You were lucky on the last one, but then as you guarded from the one, its other hand comes around and grabs you across the back, ripping you from the tauntaun. It's going to hold you in its hand and like roar at your face, Chaplain. What do you do? As I believe it is Chaplin's turn.
Yeah. I'm going to bring the duplicity over and have it cast inflict wounds.
Okay. You can cast through the duplicity?
Yeah, that's basically the only
Sick.
thing it does. Yeah.
That's sick.
So 21 to hit.
21 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
And that's 18 damage.
18 damage to the creature. Not bad at all. It screams in anger and pain. I'm gonna do a little roll here quick because your tauntaun isn't the bravest of mounts. Yeah, your tauntaun flips. I need you to make me an animal handling check, Chaplain, to maintain control of it.
All right. Oh no! 6. That was
6.
So
your tauntaun goes and it's going to disengage and run 50 feet away from the monster.
All right.
While you're on the back, like, no, don't wait. And it's just riding away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're on the back of it, my friend.
Oh,
But
okay.
what do you do, Chaplain, with the rest of your turn? Trying to be better about mounts because mounts get freaked out in the face of giant monsters.
I can't cast anything again, and I'm on the back of this. So, I mean, the best I can do is to try and get it back under control this turn.
You can try again on your next turn. It is a little rambunctious this turn around, though.
That's fair. Okay, I don't really have any other options. Well, no, I don't want to get all the way off of it. No, I don't think there's anything else I'm going to do this turn. I've already cast a spell, and I'm too far away to be able to hit the monster. So, um, I guess I'm gonna ride the end of this turn out.
Fair enough. All right, Bisan, you see, not hard to blame him. Chaplain's Tauntaun is having difficulty controlling as it runs in fear of the great monster. What do you do as you are in the hand of this great behemoth?
Wonder where the fuck Yersinia is. The captain hasn't heard anyone screaming because we haven't been quiet.
You're also very far away, to be clear. You're very, very far from the ship. Like, it's not right there. You are deep in the snowscape. Like, you can see the trading post like way off in the distance.
Yeah.
Like,
sound carries, and I'm gonna holler.
All right, you just start yelling as loud as you possibly can.
Going to, as an action, see if I can break the grapple, disengage, get the fuck out. GTFO.
All right, use an action. You try and break the grapple. Go for it.
Okay, as an 18 plus 5 is 23.
It rolls a 21. You manage to like pry the partially wounded thumb apart, and you manage to slip out of its grasp. You land in the snow in front of it. Thank you. And very good. You land in front of it, and it's still roaring. You haul ass. Okay, taking the action dash.
Action fucking dash.
Or well, you already used your action to get out of the grapple. So you run. It is going to take the opportunity attack on you. I think it's getting a little annoyed with how squirmy you are, and it's just going to try and outright attack you. That is going to be a 18 to hit.
Nope.
No. Very good. What do you got for armor, my friend? Oh, you got a chainmail and shield?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Very good. So you bounces off your shield. That's sort of still on your back, maybe. And as you turn your back to him, he scratches across the shield. And no damage done. On his turn, he is going to approach you. I need you to make a con save.
All right. Dice are rolling pretty well today. That's a 16.
16 will save. He is going to take a swing at the duplicity. His hand moves right through it, and he kind of and sort of growls at himself as his hand moves through the duplicity. I believe it doesn't take any damage, being like a illusion, right? You're muted.
No, I looked that up specifically. It doesn't take any damage. It doesn't have any hit points or anything like that, and it can't be dissolved or whatever.
Got it. So he smashes the ground. Snow goes flying, but Chaplain seems unharmed. He kind of looks at his hand and realizes there is no harming it, and he sort of scowls and runs after Bisan.
Also, just for future reference, because it doesn't matter now that he's swiped through it, but it does specifically say in the description that it looks so much like the real Chaplain that if the two of us are both in melee range, we get advantage because the monster can't. The enemy can't tell the difference.
Understood. Yeah, so he tries to swing through you. He realizes it's an illusion. There seems to be some intelligence, not much, but some intelligence to this creature. And it sort of moves through, runs after Bisan. I think he's going to try and catch you, grapple you again, because it's kind of working. All right, give her a shot.
That was a natural 19 plus 5 is a 24.
24. That's very good. You beat him handily at an 18. He tries to grapple onto you. You manage to be free of it. That is his turn. That's going to bring us to Chaplain. Chaplain, right. My friend. I need you. So currently, it's acting. Your creature is acting independently in this moment.
Yeah.
Before it takes its turn, you can attempt to use your action to try and bring it back under control if you wish to.
Okay, I will do that.
Animal handling versus its fear.
All right, 23.
23. Use your action. You managed to bring it back under control, pull it back. Against all instinct, it is going to follow your command now.
All right. So now we're going to swing back. And I'm going to try to reach down and help Bisan up onto it. Help Bisan
okay. You've used your action, so you can't help, but you can do the same thing as before. Move into Bisan's path and try again if you want.
Okay, but we won't be able to get away again, huh? Like I can't move away again this turn and still have her climb aboard.
Yeah, that's trouble. That's tricky.
Okay. I suppose that's the best we can do for that. I'm going to go ahead and move my duplicity again in front of the Yeti or Wampa or whatever it is.
Yep.
And I suppose that's it for this turn if I've already used my action and my movement and my bonus action.
You haven't used your bonus action. Oh, you did to move it.
My bonus action is moving the duplicity.
Fair enough. All right, Bisan, it's your turn once more.
Mount the turkey. Tauntaun.
It's going to try and grapple. It's going to try and grapple you. Athletics, acrobatics.
Athletics. Not great. 17.
17. It will beat you with an 18. It grabs onto you in this moment as you try and run away. Grabs onto your shield on your back and lifts you into the air. What do you wish to do? You have your action, your bonus action to use.
Let me see what I actually have. Unfortunately, it's just not much at this point in time. Yeah, can I shoot it with my crossbow?
It'll be a disadvantage because you're in melee range.
Oh, well, then I guess I'll just stick it with my sword.
All right, bring a sword around, try and stick it. Go for it.
I'm gonna see if I can convince it to let me the fuck go. Let's see, this is 16 on the dice plus 6, it's 24. No, 22.
Easy hit. Yeah, easy hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
9.
All right, 9 damage. You gash it in the arm, and it roars in pain. What else? Or is that it?
I don't actually think that there's anything else that I can do right now.
Fair enough. That brings us to its turn. As it's got you, it sort of brings you in front of its eyes and stares deep into your eyes. Make me a con save.
Easy. 16 on the dice, so that's 21.
All right, that does not succeed, and now it's just
Really?
going to start pummeling you to the best of its ability. That is going to be a 21 to hit.
Okay.
You get all the attacks out of the way. And that will be a 23 to hit.
Okay.
You are going to take 9 slashing damage and 3 cold.
Okay.
And then the second damage is whopping 10 slashing damage and 4 cold.
She's out. She's done.
All right, you're done. He just pummels you into unconsciousness, and he turns around towards the cave and he's done with fighting today, and he's just going to take Bisan. He's going to go walking off 40 feet back towards his cave. He sort of before he leaves, he pummels Bisan, then he roars at you. Chaplain is a final go away. And then starts lumbering back to his cave with Chaplain in hand, or with Bisan in hand. Chaplain, what do? Do you try and take this creature, or do you leave to try and find reinforcements?
I guess I'm gonna have to leave to try and find reinforcements. I was hoping we could revive the other two. Or keep Bisan up and revive Varsh, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. So I guess I'm going to have to go.
All right, you charge off. You sort of feel bad about it, but you need some help to go.
Wait. Before I do that, how far away was it from where I was originally?
I do not know. Let me see if I can't. We'll say that you were here.
Yeah.
60 feet. You want to take a pot shot at it?
No. Let me.
All right, I'm gonna tell you what. We'll say that you left.
Right.
Just that you're like running away and you're like, oh, that would have been so smart, but you kind of your tauntaun's already on the move, just to move things along a little bit. Okay. So here's what's gonna happen, Chaplain. You're charging off into the snow. You go looking for everyone, and you're gonna see what you can see. Um, Something else. We're gonna go to something else that's happening right now. Bisan, my friend, are you with us? You, my friend, come to. Your vision's blurred. Your body feels frigid from whatever cold damage came from the claws of this great beast. Your head hurts. Your vision sort of does that sort of spinny thing before sort of focusing. And you realize it's not because your head hurts from being pummeled, because you got hit in the stomach more than anything, or the chest, or the larger part of your body. But all the blood is in your head right now, and you have a bad headache on top of the one hit point that you have. You're hanging upside down in a cave, and you see sort of across the cave an unconscious Varsh as well, hanging upside down, maybe 30 feet into the cave. You also see a number of other skeletons hung upside down in the cave, some missing arms, some missing legs, some missing heads. And you do see the creature not too far away, about 40 feet into the cave, chewing on a bone. And you like look for your weapons, but they've been crudely sort of torn off of you, and they're like in the corner, about 50, well, somewhere in the cave. You kind of look around, you're not terribly sure, but you see Varsh. What do you do? Varsh is unconscious, by the way. But you're there. You know that this creature is right there, could hear you if you make too much movement, too much sound. What's the plan?
You said it's about 40 feet away from me?
About 40 feet away from you.
And what does the light situation look like?
Dim light in here, dim light. It's hard to see except for some scant errant beams in the cave from a firelight before the Yeti itself.
Okay. Well,
Or actually, there wouldn't be a firelight. This thing doesn't feel cold in the slightest. So it is dim light in here. There's like a little bit of light coming in from the cave entrance, and that's it.
can I second wind?
You can second wind. You sort of regather your breath. You feel your head hurt a little bit less. You gather your senses, your expertise as a warrior. I will have you make me a perception check around the room, though. Make it a disadvantage. See if you find anything of interest to help you.
I'm rolling really well. If I didn't roll a disadvantage, I'd have gotten a 20. As it is, that'll be a 13.
13. You see, you see, to your surprise, amongst the skeletons, you do see one sort of, some of them are skeletons, some of them aren't, because, you know, it's cold enough down here that it'll refrigerate most things. They won't sort of melt, so to speak, as time goes by. You do see one, half of the face it's sort of melted off. It's missing an arm, but you do see the frozen corpse of some kind of Gith. It is wearing, or was at one point, looks like it's wearing pieces of plate that have been torn away. Sort of hanging there as well. And you see some of its equipment is like underneath it, sort of like have sort of fallen off of it into the snow underneath it. Some snow is sort of collected around there's no snow that's going to like cover anything over time inside this cave, but some of its goods have sort of fallen to the ground underneath it as its time being here.
Okay. So while I'm sitting here upside down looking at a Gith that's got gear, I don't
It's not
have
too far. It's only about 10 feet away.
And I don't have my weapons, but I'm still in my armor.
You're still in your armor. You don't have any weapons. You don't know where they are in the cave. You don't know where any of Varsh's stuff is either. It seems to have been... This thing isn't of great intelligence, but smart enough that it's probably been bit by that kind of trap where it's hung someone upside down. They've just drawn their sword. So there's some level of ability to learn from this creature. And it seems to have taken that into account.
Okay. How close am I to Varsh? How close is Varsh? I'm sorry to ask all of these questions, but I'm trying to get an idea of where everything is. How close am I to Varsh? How close is Varsh to the Yeti? How close, like, what's our, in a triangle? What do we all look basically like? And where's the Gith there?
Exactly. You're basically in a triangle. I'm going to place some minis around. I don't have a cave for you.
Yeah, if I could just see proportions, that would help enormously. I have a hard time sometimes visualizing things in my head.
Absolutely no problem. I'm a visual person. I'm just the same. No worries at all. Let me throw a Gith in there. Where are you, my humanoid friends? Sure, I'll grab this one. Why not? This one only hangs about this far from you, upside down as well. And its gear lays underneath it. Some shiny things, shields or pieces of armor, a couple of trinkets.
All right. Shit.
Tell you what, why don't you make me an investigation check to look through the gear of the Gith? There might be something the Yeti missed.
It's not great. It's like a 12, I think. It's
12?
11. It's an 11.
12's enough. You look through all of the stuff, and yeah, there are pieces of plate there, but there are things that the creature missed. It is smart enough to know to remove weapons, but maybe not smart enough to remove other things. You, Bisan, have seen what lays many times, and though to such a simple creature it might not seem like a usable weapon, you know what it is. You see this ornate sword hilt with no blade in it, sort of sitting gleaming underneath this creature, this Gith that died long ago.
Do I recognize it?
You bet your ass you do.
Well, this will be coming home with me. I will arm myself with this. Do I by chance
It's a little far away. How do you intend to get it? It's about 10 feet from you.
Well, I mean, I could make a stealth check and tiptoe over in that direction.
You were hung up by your feet from the ceiling. You're sort of frozen in there. Yeah, you can't move. You can't get free. You can't use your arms to grab it.
I can't acrobatics.
I'm afraid not. It's a little far away.
I can mage hand.
You're going to use your telekinetic power to try and pull it to you?
I mean, that's what I do.
Bisan brings her hand out forward to try and grab it. Hang on. No. Come on.
I was rolling well too. Listen, he deserved to take me, man. I rolled well.
Hang on, I'm trying to find the right track for this moment. Yeah, here we go. Now, come on. Get the good part. You put your hand forward. You focus on the psionic power, the power of the void itself, of the universe, and you pull it forth across the cave to yourself, and it emerges into your hand. As it does so, you feel your psionics fill the blade. There's a spark on the edge of the blade. The Yeti sort of starts looking around. I can sort of hear it. I need you to... No, shut up. An ad starts playing in the middle of the cave. No. You focus in on it. I need you to make me an intelligence check to try and focus your psionics through the blade in order to try and just get a little pump of power out of it in this moment to save you.
17.
17 is more than enough. A purple blade flies forth from the edge of the blade. The colors sort of changing in it. It is the blade is very unstable. It's only going to be active for about a minute. You're not attuned to it, and the blade is damaged in and of itself. But in this moment, you're able to course a little of your psionics through it. What do? The Yeti stands up as a light courses through the whole cave.
Well, I'm going to get myself the fuck down.
All right, you swing it at your legs, chops you free, you fall to the ground. The Yeti turns around, and it begins to approach you. Would you like to action surge?
Oh, fuck yes.
You action surge as it begins to approach you. Make me an attack roll.
15 on the dice. Oh, I don't have a thing. It was a 15 to plus whatever. I don't know the weapon.
Don't worry, I've got you.
Okay.
15 plus normal attack roll. So pretend just use your sword for now.
Sweet. Okay. So that'll be a +6. 21.
21. That will most certainly hit. I'm just pulling up the stats of the blade. That certainly hits. As you swing it, the blade itself almost seems to, as if it sort of gives you a sudden sense of precognition. Something flashes through your head, and you see it sort of going to swing wide. You know that if you aim low, it will hit it in the side. And as it goes high, it's like the moment plays itself out, and as it grants you +2 to your attack roll, you easily hit it right in the rib. I need you to roll me your normal sword. Just roll me the normal sword damage, but add 1d8 +2.
So that's 7 plus 2 plus 2 is 4. So 11.
11 damage. You swing across it. The creature, as you grab it grabs its stomach, and its guts just fall out as the blade just carves right through its body, and it sort of steps back in anger. It's going, and it sort of will just fall over and die in this moment. Falls to the ground. Your blade sort of flickers out in that moment as sort of the emotions of the moment are sort of overwhelm you, and you're not able to maintain the psionics any further than that, but it's enough to slay your foe.
I'm going to look through all of the stuff and see if there is a healing potion or healer's kit or something.
You go through it. The only thing of value that was left in it is the actual blade itself, as well as a strange badge, signet of some kind. It looks like a brooch, and it has a strange Gith symbol on it. It basically is like the letter U. It has like extra stylizations and design, but it's the letter U in the Gith alphabet.
I'm going to take the armor. I think the armor is better than mine.
It's super damaged, but you can take it if you want to try and find a blacksmith to repair it, to have like more Gith-like armor if you want.
And I guess I'm going to carry
put in your inventory. Yeah. Put damaged Gith armor in your like other possessions, and we'll deal with that later.
Plate and damaged blade.
You put the damaged some blade in your inventory as well.
I will take the time to find my actual weaponry so that I'm not going out alone in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, there was an icy column in the center of the cave, and it was sort of just behind it in a little pile of stuff. There also happens to be about 400 gold cumulatively amongst everything sitting in the pile.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
That will come.
Just put that into a bag. You find Varsh's bag and his stuff as well, and
I am going to go through that bag.
Okay.
Okay.
Varsh, if you would send Carmen privately the contents of your backpack, or honestly the contents of your full inventory, because
to be clear, I'm not going to take anything. To the best of my ability, I will rifle through it without letting it. This is not an FBI job. I don't want it to look like I've rifled through it. I just want to rifle through it.
Got it. So just send Varsh, if you'd send Carmen privately the contents of your inventory. Once you're done with that, Bisan, you can cut down Varsh and sort of throw him over your shoulder. Varsh is probably going to be down for, well, you don't know how long you've been unconscious for, but maybe an hour or two more, maybe more, who knows. But he's alive. Not much is clear. You would have seen his breath in the cold very easily. You throw him over your shoulder, you go running out, you get into the snow, you start making your way across the snowscape. It's very cold. Make me a con save.
16 plus 5, 21.
21. You go in, you feel the bitter cold as you're sort of breathing heavily from the battle and from the running and holding Varsh. You feel the cold air flooding into your lungs, filling your lungs with cold air, but you push through it. You feel iron blood in your mouth as you're running through. You feel your legs burning, your lungs burning, freezing, and you're finding it very hard to breathe. All of a sudden, and you're not anywhere close to the ship. You feel your vision fading as you're not getting enough oxygen. But the last thing you hear before you go unconscious is, "Arr!" And you see about 3 tauntauns with Chaplain, Yersinia, and the captain himself sort of riding towards you, and you kind of just fall into the snow. You go unconscious. So we'll come over to you, Chaplain, as you, the captain, and Yersinia make your way out. You guys jump off and make your way over. You see Varsh unconscious, and you see Bisan, or Bisan, excuse me, unconscious, who has like both of their equipment bags and equipment like slung over her shoulder. The captain says, "That's I knew I had a good notion when I invited that Gith onto this ship. Nothing's going to kill her, it seems. Chaplain, can you do anything for him?"
Yeah, so I would whip out. I've spare the dying as a cantrip, so I do one on each just to make sure they're going to be stable.
Okay.
And then at that point, we can begin healing.
Okay.
Should I go ahead and heal them?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll me some heals.
Yeah. Let's get Varsh first since he's been down the longest. So that'll be cure wounds for 11 points.
Okay. Varsh, you suddenly like come to you are going to be at 1 level of exhaustion because the cold is a lot. But you wake up with 1 level of exhaustion. You're very cold. Your joints are stiff. You're laying in the snow, and your sort of eyes open to the sort of gleaming golden eyes of the captain and the sort of shimmering golden body of Chaplain sort of standing around you in the snow. You are sort of tangled with Bisan, who very clearly on appearances like you were over Basan's arm before passing out. You don't know the full story, but very clearly Bisan has saved you from something.
Cruel joke.
Chaplain, do you want to provide healing to Bisan as well?
I actually don't have another slot, so we're gonna have to take stabilize but downed Bisan back with us.
Let me go check to see if the captain has any. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Varsh.
I can.
There you go.
I'll cast Cure Wounds on my own onto Bisan.
All right, throw that. Roll me some cure wounds on Bisan.
It's not bad, it's only 4, but kind of like, oh, Lady of the Night, heal my savior. And then just kind of like awkwardly smack my hand into.
Absolutely. You do this. Yeah, roll a hit points.
It was 4.
4. Bisan, you sort of blink and come to. You sort of find yourself very much alive. Moments later, and very conscious. You'll be at exhaustion as well. In fact, I'm going to give you 2, 2 exhaustion for what happened. But you are alive, my friend. Moments later.
Muted, I think.
Pardon?
Muted.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're muted there, Basan.
I was just looking for where the conditions were on my sheet. I found it.
No problem. The captain says, "Welcome back. It's true what they say about your people. You're indomitable."
Right now, I'm cold.
The captain looks back to Yesenia and says, "Would you mind taking these creatures back to where they belong? I think our friends would like to get out of the cold, and I'd like to take our healer with us." And Yesenia goes, "Oh yeah, no, no problem at all." And the captain is going to cast teleport. Is going to use the power of the astral sea innate, not innate, but learned to this powerful astral elf commander, and you guys will find yourself in the warm berth of the ship, near the crew quarters. You sort of stumble down to the wood. You immediately feel the relieving presence of the crew around you as they begin to sort of like pick you up and move you over to some cushioned, comfortable hammocks, and it's a relief. Both I think, Varsh, it's been some time since you've been with a crew. And Basan, you've been with a crew, different crews for years, but regardless, both of you can't help but feel like a wash of relief when you're back on your ship, back with your crew. It feels like home, feels like safety.
Bisan looks at Varsh and is like, "We can talk about why you were out there later, right?"
If I must.
Later. And she just kind of melts into whatever it is and tries to not hurt, because that, like, her lungs must feel like they're on fire. Like every time she goes to inhale, like everything must just feel like she's being stabbed from the inside.
Yeah, you don't feel great. Your lungs are both freezing and burning at the same time. But the cold sensation is quickly giving way. Someone aboard, Chaplain, are you I don't know what I'm talking. He would have made sure that there was like a proper designated someone proficient with medicine aboard the ship. So you see maybe one of these sort of like elven warriors sort of come forth, and we'll begin inspecting both of you for frostbite, for anything. Both of you have like minor frostbite, which will be easily tended to over like a day or two by magic and such. That elf would say to you, Basan, you have to be very careful when exerting yourself in the Arctic cold. When you take too much cold air into your lungs, it freezes the moisture in your lungs, and it can kill you. So be careful in the future.
She's going to look at the elf and say, "It took my nose."
That's funny. That's very humor I'm here it is a good anyway. And goes back to tending to you guys. The captain says, "You both get some rest. I'm sure there'll be plenty of talk, but we're all back here safe, and that's what matters. So take your rest, you two. Well done."
There's 400 gold. I don't know how we disperse that, but I'd like the armor and the sword, but the gold for everyone.
I see. You wish to give 400 gold to the crew.
That's what we do. That's what
I'm just confirming that is exactly what we do. Bisan, you are a paragon of loyalty.
The armor is Gith, though.
And then it is yours. The least we can do to say thank you for your daring rescue.
She's probably like,
Fair enough. So the captain will take that 400 gold and will have it distributed amongst the crew evenly. And I'm going to give you that number in half a moment here. But in the meantime, the captain turns to you, Chaplain, and says, "Might I have a word?"
Yes, of course.
He'll take you sort of aside in the lower bowels of the deck, and he'll say, "So what happened out there exactly? I told you and Bisan to retreat in the face of danger. Were you ambushed?"
Well, in a manner of speaking, we followed the tracks, and we were on the out for Mr. Varsh, and as we came upon a cave that we could not, discern what was going on inside the cave, we came upon the mouth of the cave. We considered entering, but didn't, and before we could turn and retreat, we had just decided to turn around and come back for reinforcements, and at that time, the beast came scrambling out of the cave at us. The giant, horrible snow monster.
I see. Well, thank you. Thank you for telling me.
We did do what we could to escape, especially Miss Bisan. She made every effort to escape, but we just weren't able to get away. The beast was very tenacious.
Oh, no. Don't misunderstand me. Neither of you are in trouble in any way. I just find it prudent to be informed on events, is all. You both did very well.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I think At could use a little help finishing up repairs.
Most certainly.
And all of you will receive, by the way, everyone here receives 21 gold from the 400 that Bisan found. I'm going to put a little message in the group for Howl. Incredible. And with that, everyone will get a long rest at the end of this very long day. Both of you will be removing 1 point of exhaustion. Bisan, you will have to endure the last one for the final day of the downtime, but you guys all get up out of bed feeling a lot better. Is there anything anyone would like to do on the last day of shore leave?
I'm gonna check with Bisan. You retrieve my belongings, yes?
And I will give them to him.
Yeah.
Out of everything, as I'm sort of digging through the stuff, the first thing I make sure that it's there is the stone.
Everything seems to be there. Without much surprise, the contents of your bag has been shuffled around with, the Yeti handling them all. So I probably think it wouldn't be much surprise if anything is out of place.
I don't take much notice of anything being moved around. I just make sure the stone is I checked over the stone thoroughly, see if it's been cracked anywhere or is damaged in any way.
The stone seems fine. And the shell of it seems to be, you don't know what it's made of, but it seems to be quite strong. Really quick, Bisan, I want you to make me either a sleight of hand or deception check. Your choice. Varsh, what's your passive insight?
Sleight of hand.
14.
14?
12.
12. Varsh, the Yeti, for whatever reason, just some things just aren't in the pockets that you left them in, or are in different pockets. The Yeti probably went through your bag, or you can can decide how Varsh would take that. That's entirely up to you. But things clearly are your bag has been gone through. Nothing's been taken.
The Yeti must have found something worth rifling through my things for.
The Yeti upended all the bags. The place was a mess. Did I miss something? I put everything in your bag.
No, everything's there. Just be a pain to get everything back where it was. Crucially, nothing's damaged.
It was easier to carry you than to wake you. I don't have medicine.
Oh, it's quite all right.
Why were you so far away alone?
I suppose if I answered and said that I was dealing with a personal matter, that wouldn't satisfy you, would it?
No response. She's just going to continue to look at you.
Would you believe me if I said it was related to why I beheaded that surrendering scroll?
Yes. You nearly died. I nearly died. Chaplain could have died. That's a lot of could have died. Because you went off alone.
I answer to a higher power. A higher power that bids me do things I do not particularly like doing. I was bid to make an offering on this moon, and I don't think sacrificing my personal diary in front of all of the crew would be appropriate. So I went alone to do it in secret.
If this is a bad marriage, then find another god. If you are a worshipper.
Kind of like he starts to laugh out at that. Oh, worshipper, why? I surely wish that were the case. No, I am a plaything. I am just trying to survive.
So you're a slave.
No response to that.
We will have to see to this.
Have you ever seen a child squash a bug and giggle at how easy it was? I'm the bug, and they are the child.
The Mind Flayers thought that way too. And then we killed them. And now we hunt them.
I don't think the Lady of the Night is someone you can simply kill. And certainly if you tried, she would no doubt bid me do this, slay you. Perhaps she may even ask me to do that anyway. It might entertain her. That's all she wants is entertainment to be.
Entertainment.
She desires amusement. That is why I killed the Spelljammer. She wanted I offered her a slaughter in the hopes that it would appease her, and she was satisfied. And when I arrived here, she wanted me to sacrifice something important to me. So I gave her my diary, my history.
It sounds like she plays games.
She's the reason I'm even here. Were it up to me, I would still be out in the astral sea, but she bid me do something interesting, entertain her, and force me to answer the summons of Lunabow.
This will be a bigger problem.
Almost certainly so. I can't anticipate what she'll ask me to do, and I'm not in the position to refuse.
I don't know how to fix this.
I wouldn't expect you to know. It's my problem.
Not on a ship, it's not. The ship nearly lost 3. It's everybody's problem.
Are you going to tell Lunabow?
You need to. But I will give you time. If there's another incident, then yes.
Well, fine. Thank you for saving my life, regardless, even if this might be the last time we speak. I'm doubtful Lunabow will keep me around if he thinks I'll be a danger to the crew. I wouldn't blame him.
I am sorry.
Hardly your fault. It was entirely coincidental I even met the Lady of the Night at all. Something she took great offense to. That's the whole crux of it. I was no one of little importance, and she found it infuriating that I'd ever encounter her. And so now I am bidden to be worth her attention, to be interesting, something worth watching.
But you know she watches.
Oh,
Lunabow should know. Because she watches. I will give you time.
My fear of telling anyone about this is that they will end up complicit in my servitude. That in knowing of what she is, that not knowing that she's watching, she can then start ordering around everyone else through me.
I don't understand.
What would you do if I told you that the Lady of the Night has told me to tell you to go and slaughter the crew? If you don't do it, she'll kill you.
Tell Lunabow now. This is above us. This is a ship. There are many. We can't. We can't. And I will go find the commandant. I'm not going to say anything, but there's
Bisan,
nothing else to say.
Bisan leaves the room. As the moment the door closes, the single candle that lights the room flickers out. And Varsh, 3 torches seem to light around the room, but make no light whatsoever. Yeah, this is the track I love for this entity. You hear, amused indeed. It's the 3 voices say in concert. A threat. Void lights. A threat indeed. She speaks with the air of confidence of someone who thinks she is of any threat to my powers.
We're both aware that she's no threat to you, my lady.
But she is a threat to my amusement. How interesting you've been, Varsh Voidlight, since you've joined this crew. So I set you to this task. And I will message you privately what she says next.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in Facebook for you. There you are.
My lady, I don't think that's possible.
You must make it so, or at least amuse me in trying. And should you fail, the consequences may be their own amusements.
Kind of like Vash. You can see like his eye is like darting around trying to figure out like any solution.
Good luck, Mr. Voidlight. The lights die out and the candle slowly relights.
I get up and hurry after Bisan.
Okay. You, Bisan, you're looking for the Commandant. You find yourself on the foredeck. You're kind of looking around for the Commandant. He's not around, or I'll roll to see where he is on the ship, actually. You see him on the foredeck near the ballistas. He's sort of talking to some of the members of the crew who deal with this sort of thing. Like 2 other crew members. One's a plasmoid, one's an elf. And as you like begin to take a step in that direction, Varsh appears from the lower deck.
Wait.
We need bigger guns for this ship.
Bisan, please wait.
Guns. Fine. Yes.
I get down on my knees, place my head to the ground. Please.
Oh, get up. Please.
A couple people start like looking over at the scene.
Get up.
Please do not say a word of what I say. I am begging you.
Said I wasn't. It's yours to tell.
I can't tell the captain anymore.
There are bigger dangers right now. Just try to think of protecting the crew. And she just hustles off to see Dionysus.
Okay. You make your way to see Commandant Dionysus, and he says, Bisan, back up on your feet. Good to see.
You say the Gith have better guns on or better weapons on their ships. I had 4 shots.
The Gith or the mind flayers?
The Gith. You said that you are.
Oh, the Gith. The names are so different, and I like to say GIF. It depends on whatever race it is. Some people say GIF, some people say GIF. There's a whole debate about whether. Anyway,
you say your race have the best weapons for ships.
You better believe it.
Why don't we have those? If I only have 4 shots, I need bigger weapons.
You have the heart of a GIF, and I appreciate that. Well, I'm sorry to say, space galleons just simply aren't built to equip the weapons that the GIF possess. It's a very specific ship called a Bombard. It has this massive cannon on it, gargantuan in size. It is the barrel of it is more than half the size of the entire hull. I mean, technically, it could be installed as they go into a space galleon, but it would require an immense amount of reshaping and refitting, and it would be a momentous project. But to this day, only the Bombards of the Gith possess such weapons.
If I only have 4 shots against a Nautilus, I need more juice.
Well, maybe you could talk to the... Well, maybe you could talk to the captain about finding better armaments. As far as I know, this is the standard weapon set for a space galleon.
I'm not complaining, just would like to discourage pursuit.
Listen, if you're wanting to get bigger, badder arms for this ship, you are certainly talking to an advocate.
She has like the slightest little toothy smile that she knows she's terrifying, so she's trying not to, but
yeah, you kind of can't help
this is the alliance I wanted to make.
As your serrated shark teeth reveal, he's like, ugh. But yes, you understand it in this moment. If you never hadn't before, the commandant is never going to be on the side of things that says like less weapons.
And then I will go find Chaplin.
All right, Chaplin, what do you think you've been up to today?
Oh, he was the last he was told by the captain was to just be around the ship and help with some repairs. So that's pretty much what he's been after. He had to take a little time, obviously earlier when everybody else did, to I always forget what it's called, but anyway, Sentinel Rest or something like that. Okay. But other than that, he's probably just been working again at like repair and fortification type things.
Okay. Repair was finished yesterday, but you can go around and like double check and make sure there's no sort of missing hit points here or there that you missed out on. At which point,
like, as they fire the mangonel or whatever, like that it probably needs, I don't know, recalibrated or like tightened back in, or it's a significant amount of force.
Absolutely, yeah. You go in, you do a weapons inspection that is absolutely, inspecting the ropes and lines and making sure the ship is in working order and there's no frays or anything of issue. And everything seems to be shipshape as far as your inspection has gone so far. And Bisan approaches you.
Oh, hello.
Thank you for getting help. Do you think you could fix this? And she just hands you the sun sword.
Oh, well, this is very interesting indeed.
You can make either a history or arcana check. Different, or you could do both. Each check will reveal different information.
All right. They're the same score for me. Oh, I could do both, you said?
Yeah, both will reveal different information about what you possess in this moment.
16 history. 16 history and 11 arcana.
Okay. What you possess in your hand is, and we are playing a little loose with the lore here, so this is my personal canon.
Sure.
But what you hold here is the hilt of a magic item, powerful magic item known as a sun sword. These items are exclusively used by the Gith race. There are several armaments that the Gith Yankee utilize, but this is one that is utilized by those who are very skilled with psionic power, and they sort of empower the blades with their own psionics. This is sort of well known. There's the occasional paladin on the material plane that does wield them as well against the darker forces, the undead and such. But generally speaking, it is in a wild space setting. It is the Gith, both Gith Yankee and Gith Sarai, who wield these to great effect. And if you see one wielded by a Gith, they're usually powerful psionic beings. As for the Arcana check result, you recognize what it is and its potential and its power, but it is beyond your skill to repair. You would probably suggest to Bisan, to find a Gith, to find a skilled arcanist Gith to repair it instead.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. Do you know what this is?
It's a sun sword.
It is. So, it does have some surface damage here, which would kind of be something that I might be able to, spruce up a little bit, take a little bit of look at. But it's got to be powered by psionics, and honestly, the magic and the psionic ability that have to be involved in this, those aren't things that I'm capable of dealing with. This is something that's probably strictly within the skill set of a Gith Arcanist.
It was worth a shot. I am sad. I wanted to bring you an arm so you would have an extra, but I ran out of juice.
An extra arm would have been really nice, actually. Yeah, thank you very much. Here's your sun sword back.
And then I guess the only other person I would like to see is the captain.
Okay. I'm sure Yesenia will have stuff they want to do. Maybe you guys have stuff you want to do as well. And on this last day of leave, we will be sure to attend to any issues before heading back into wild space, but we will end our session there.
Yay!
How do we like it? Some Star Wars in there,
Yeah.
For the record, I was really my dice don't usually roll that hot. So and they were all kind of like 11, 12, 13 rolls, but with the +5, it was enough.
Yeah.
But listen,
No,
I kept getting the shit grappled out of me, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was rolling pretty decent too, but you were rolling yourself, and I was like, no, come on. But I was also like, I try and not force a result either, right? Like if you got out of there, I would have figured it out later. But
no, we had to get in there for Varsh.
Yeah, you had to go get Varsh. So some of it was going in there eventually, but this way I got to swing you upside down. You got to have your Luke Skywalker moment.
Yeah, your Luke Skywalker moment. You got to hear the music.
You got to hear the music, exactly.
And thinking of you as a slave, engenders enormous sympathy from Bis,
Yeah.
like
Hey, there was an exchange,
enormous
kinda.
sympathy.
It's like it's fun for the characters. Like, I'm so screwed. I have no agency.
Yeah, that was the angle.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, folks. Well,
championship level like football games on, so I'm going to say goodbye.
Go watch
all
football.
right.
Bye,
Fair enough.
y'all.
Have a good night, everybody.